help? Does Lynette need help? What does it say? Oh, it's just we managed to meet up with... Oh, it's another cat with a cat situation. We just watched the trailer with that, too. Hi. Is that Lynette? With the little kitty? And suddenly it's daytime? Meow.
Meow.
Oh. She meowed too. Approach stealthily. Oh, just...
Phew. 1 second. Now activating chat mode. You made me jump
She
there.
always does that.
I thought they'd finally caught me.
Made you jump? I didn't notice. Is someone out to kidnap you?
Objectively speaking, the trouble was entirely of my own making. Half an hour ago, I was at Hotel de Boer for a drinks reception. It was to celebrate the successful opening of a show, but it was draining my energy. So, I waited for the right moment, then snuck away so I could switch to standby mode.
I see. So they sent someone to find you and bring you back, but why? Almost did a spin.
Probably because I'm playing the lead role in the show?
The lead role?
Is that so surprising? I'm always getting invitations to
I
do
know.
solo performances.
You're just as good
I
as
just
your
usually
brother,
get Linny
I
to
assume.
write back and turn them down. But then came the Fontanalia Film Festival. We took all the kids from the House of the Hearth out to see a film.
Oh.
And after it finished, they all started clamoring for me to try out acting for some reason. Even Linny was chanting along with them. Anyway, it just so happened that a director called Mary who had sent me an invitation right around then. I'll spare you the details, but basically, I ended up accepting it.
So this is a dramatic debut of the magician's puppets. Huh.
Yep, you nailed it. I'm playing the role of a puppet.
Yeah.
In fact, the show's called The Lost Puppet, and it's a masked mime show.
Oh,
So
mime.
I don't have to do any
Like-
facial expressions or say any lines. Literally just a series of physical movements. The director says it's a very avant-garde art form.
Avant-garde. That does sound pretty avant-garde, but can people understand the plot?
Art is not comprehended by the mind, but felt in the heart. At least, that's what the director says. Anyway, if nothing else, the opening performance seemed to go down well. At the drinks reception, everyone was crowding around me, saying, "Triumphant character portrayal, faithful adaptation of the original work, unequivocally, quintessentially avant-garde," and stuff like that.
Well, they like you. That's good.
But being the center of attention is draining.
That
So
too.
the moment they left me to go harass the director instead, I was out of there.
For once, you weren't able to use Linny as a human shield.
The other thing is, some weird things happened while I was on the stage.
Yeah? What weird stuff?
Sorry, Bonnie. I didn't mean to leave you out of the conversation. My bad.
I take it Bonnie's your pet cat?
No, we just met. We bumped into each other right after I slipped away.
And you've already named her.
Well, it'd be kind of difficult for us to communicate otherwise. Besides, I think she's taken a liking to the name. Haven't you, Bonnie?
Meow. Meow indeed.
Yeah, that's right. Good kitty. We'll go find your owner soon, I promise.
Owner, not a stray cat then.
Nope. She's wearing a collar, and for the most part, she's pretty well groomed. If she is a stray, she hasn't been for long. Her stomach's been growling a lot. I guess she must have been missing for a few days now. As much as I'd love to hang out with her for a while longer, her owner's probably worried sick about her. Assuming she has an owner, that is.
Right.
But the reception... I should probably show my face there again at some point, even if it's just to make excuses and leave again. Decision time.
This is where it picks the routes for it, huh? Is it a tough decision for you?
Well, I just find it exhausting. thinking through all the different ramifications of different choices and so on. That's more Lenny's area than mine. So, unless it's something really
That's funny, because I do have to do a lot of decision making
the decision making to him.
in a hangout event. But for once, he's not here when you need him. But bet that doesn't happen often.
It's fine. He got Fremine to make me a little something for just this situation.
Which is?
Poof! A phaetometer.
Oh. Alright. That's the gadget we'll get. What's this?
It looks pretty over the top, I know. But it's essentially just a box of cards. He kept the design simple, so it'd be harder to break. The way it works is, I pick a card at random, then look at the number on the card.
And how does that help you make a decision?
Well, for example, if the number on the card is 5 or higher, I help Bonnie find her owner. If it's less than 5, I go back to the reception.
Is this shit like the dice rolling mechanic? Seriously? Simple and straightforward. Wait, so it's RNG?
I just have to believe in the bond between me and my cards, and my fate will reveal itself to me in numerical form. At least, that's what Lenny said. Anyway, I guess I'll give you a demonstration.
Yeah. As Lynette attempts to draw a card, the device emits a horrendous grinding
I
sound.
didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I
Yeah,
just...
it's basically like a roll. Lynette smacks the card box and all the cards fall onto the ground, then she picks one at random.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
I feel like maybe this wasn't a design issue.
Let's see... Which card did I get? 4.
Less than 5, so that means no helping Bonnie. Oh.
Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts.
Give us a try, I guess.
If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide. Also something Lenny said. So, to put it another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer.
I think what Lenny really meant is sometimes you have to accept the answers you didn't want.
Or... Why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means... our fates are, like, interfering with each other.
You should leave the razzle-dazzling to Lenny. Alright, I'll pick a card for you.
Thank you. This one is final, I promise.
Sure.
Here, take the phaetometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed.
Oh my, it is.
Anything lower than 5 is a fail.
It really is.
Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do...
They really put
feel free to
RNG
share.
into the hangout.
Now that I've got a good problem
crazy.
solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate.
I think... I'm not sure. Let's leave this one to fate. Oh. I mean, yeah, sure. We're on our first route, so it surprised me, huh?
Alright. Then let's see where fate will lead me.
The random checks triggered by the phaetometer often serve as indicators for destiny's course or the success or failure of an action. I press to draw a card and get a random number between 1 and 20. Are you serious? If the number displayed is greater than or equal to the check difficulty, you will pass this check. Otherwise, you will fail it. Really? It's a... Oh my... It's a stat... It's a stat check. The random checks triggered by the phaetometer often serve as indicators for destiny's course or the success or failure... Wait, what? Oh no. It just showed me a different image. Adequate preparation and friendly aid can sometimes affect the result of these checks. Your current check bonuses will be added to your random draw number. Oh, and it's got the buffs too? Really? Okay. No kidding. Okay. Right is always right, but I'll pick 3 from the right. Let's see. Fuck.
back to the drinks reception.
Well, I have to ask about this deck of cards.
There's 20 cards in total, numbered 1 to 20. So there's only a 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5.
I was one off.
I should also mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just set that to wherever I feel.
That wasn't rigged so I would lose, right? I mean, clearly you don't want to go. You could just...
Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Besides,
to.
The drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official
I'm sorry,
publicity
Bonnie.
event.
I'm
So
a failure.
go on it.
You'll feel guilty inside.
I might get sued for breach of contract.
Oh.
That would be a huge pain in the butt.
Pain in the ass.
One other thing. Do you want to come with me? If you're free, I mean.
Sure. Then you'll have at least one friend there. Hopefully that will make it more bearable.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Bonnie! Bonnie! No! Bonnie's gone. Bonnie, I failed you. Look, I'm not that much of a cat person, but I can place it? What happens if I place it? 10. Oh, okay. I'm a 10. Out of 20, which means I'm mid. Fuck you, game. If it's above 10...
There you are, Lynette! Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
Oh no. She brought the... Oh no, okay. Threw me off for a second. They look identical. Oh, where... Bonnie's there! Bonnie's there. Okay.
I found her outside. Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Fair enough.
Their voice is rather
It was a long
different.
shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
It's alright.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and see if they know anything. And if
Why does she
not,
sound like she have like a
we'll
buck
just keep
tooth or
looking.
something?
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
Bonnie.
It's no trouble at all. We're happy to help however we can.
Also, if it's no trouble, I mean, could we maybe get an autograph?
Huh.
And maybe a photo too?
Leone, you can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working.
Too late.
At least wait until the
Too
event's
late.
finished.
Everyone's a
One last thing,
celebrity
Lynette.
now.
Director Mariu's looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
You're so popular.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode. Alright.
You better invent
guess
one.
I better go see the director.
Bonnie.
Spectacular choreography, a masterpiece of mise en scène, and the performance, oh my, groundbreaking, dripping with
my,
je ne sais
magnifique.
quoi. My congratulations on another magnificent show, sir.
Magnifique.
Yes. I, for one, was particularly captivated by the clearly allegorical narrative undertone.
Oui.
The
Oui,
lost
oui.
puppet shines a spotlight on the impact of technological advances in our modern society, particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility.
Superbe.
Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its time. A tour de force of avant-garde theater.
I can already see the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. They will certainly be singing your praise, Director Mariu.
There's
But it was a
Mario.
group effort, of course. To convey emotions in a silent show with no facial expressions, the entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone truly outdid themselves.
Speaking of the cast,
Friendly
Jillian,
reporter.
Another strong performance from you in director Mariu's latest show, as of course we've all come to expect from your numerous successful collaborations to date.
That's quite an overstatement. I've only ever played supporting roles.
On that point, you stated a few
Excited
months ago in an
reporter.
interview that you were looking to secure a leading role in your next show. What led you to the decision to stay in a supporting role this time around?
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character.
Right.
Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
But did Jillian want that role though at the start?
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her.
I
Lynette
don't
worked
know.
extremely hard in all of the rehearsals, and she's an incredibly talented actress.
Maybe she wanted to play it. Speaking of the cat.
Oh, Lynette's back!
Hey, Lynette, where have you been?
Were you in standby mode?
Oh.
Some reports say you switched that state to recharge after a show.
Oh god. Lynette doesn't have the energy for this.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor
No.
who lives and breathes their role even while off stage.
No, she's just always like that. Chill. Alright, sorry fellas, we gotta run an ad break right now. There we go. Okay, so a pause for a bit. So, okay, I definitely understand what the hell they were talking about with the whole Baldur's Gate 3 thing now. The dice. In this sense, it's actually a deck of cards you pick from. Oh wow. Okay. If only I had a bonus, we could have helped out Bonnie instead. Oh well, we're here. This is my first route, and I'm always sticking with my first route. No. Need to nab myself a cookie. There we go. I guess I didn't. I mean, to be fair, my RNG is pretty shit anyways to begin with. So, when it comes to these things at least. I still remember how many critical failures I've scored while playing Baldur's Gate. Ugh. Alright. 30 more seconds and we're good to go. Yeah. These cookies are busting. Bussin'. Wrong word. Okay, there we go.
Those
seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting
No,
skill.
like I said, she's just like that, people.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
A cat? We've long heard that you are a kind soul, as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered such popularity.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Can you speak into the mic?
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself is the actor's
No,
true
she's not trying to say
connecting with their
anything.
fans.
Amori.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comments?
No. No.
Right, exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now? After the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
Oh, is she is she gonna do the Ah, yes. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I see. She's in God. Zero energy. Can I punch them? Hey, feel free.
That's true.
See?
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you too.
How interesting.
Insight. Observe Lynette to see how she's doing. Oh, for a 10. Did you see how fucked my score was last time? You want me to pick a 10? Insight. Oh, fuck me. I'm already bad at reading people IRL. You want me to do an RNG? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the same card I picked. So I know that's how I know it's not how it works, it's random, but since this card failed me last time, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from the right. Easy. Magnifique. Blew that shit out the water, bro. Woo, 15. Let's go. Lynette's voice was so deadpan during the interview. She sounded like an auto-reply robot. Hold on, Lynette has only just finished performing. She needs to recharge.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry. How rude of me.
Yeah. Maybe if you actually paid attention, you could have found out yourself.
Huh? Wait, you're the traveler who's been in the news. Did you come to see the show?
I guess.
Wow, are you a fan of Lynette too?
Oh, well.
Do you have any comments on her
It's on me now. I guess it's better to redirect the attention. You and Lynette struggle to keep up in Are you alright?
Yeah, it's just... Turns out, even with you here to share the load, I can't cope with this stuff, even in tea party mode.
Tea party mode?
It's a power-saving mode for participating
Right,
in
it's the default
conversation at
replies
tea
mode.
parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, Oh, that's true. And how interesting.
Yeah.
But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions.
And not when the center of focus is you.
The
So
energy
it doesn't really
consumption
work.
of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party.
It's a big adjustment. Give it some time. Maybe after a few more interviews you'll get used to it. God no.
I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
Yeah.
Lynette, Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the successful opening of the show.
Okay.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with
Cyril.
Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's
Maloney.
waiting for you.
Okay.
Alright.
That's better than an interview. It's just a
See you in
photo.
minute.
Just need a pose. Pose.
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thanks
Can I see
to
it?
each and every one of you here for your
I can't
help
see
in
the photo.
making The
Okay.
Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already being printed as I speak. You can collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder of this fabulous performance every time you see it.
Marry you! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need you to glance over for me.
Wait, that means the reception still isn't over? Also, I'm sorry if this mean, but Maloney is such a funny name. It's just one letter off from baloney. Baloney.
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle.
Oh, she angry.
Well, at least there's no more people
She
hounding
angry.
me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by. I hope.
Well, go to the second floor to pass the time. Oh my goodness. So many people. So many people. So many people. So many people, bruh. So many. Oh, wait. These are the this the actors and one interview. Huh? Okay, a Farina appears out of nowhere in the wild. Hey, Farina. But
Hotel de Bour's Ile Flottante is as
Farina.
wonderfully sweet as ever.
Farina, you managed to get an invite to the drinks reception too.
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts.
She's
Of
here for the
course
cake
I was
and the
invited.
dessert.
Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the Masked Mime Show.
So then, what did you think?
Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor.
Splendid.
Exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement.
I mean, that's pretty much how old TVs were too, before they had sound, so.
Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed.
Not suitable for her socially.
Basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall, just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens, but still, this was something else. Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater.
Avant-garde.
Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria. Or maybe it's because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mary's script a while back.
Well, then you kind of know what was gonna happen.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective.
Yes.
And then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play.
Oh.
I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version. I can't say I remember the plot, but...
But?
I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess. Especially in the last two scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth
Was the
on
old
inside.
script reserved for, Jillian?
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production. More than most people could imagine. Especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show. I'm sure Mary Yu had his reasons for the changes he made.
Which you've never seen this original script.
Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor. Fame can be overwhelming at first, can't it? Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be
Nope.
my first and
Nuh-uh.
last time in this situation.
Hey, at least let me finish.
She
I
just
have
wants to
top
flex.
tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks during the intermission.
Like you're doing right now.
Tell me everything.
First, take a seat, mon ami. We must partake of Hotel de Boer's fine desserts as we talk, lest they go to waste.
And you know, your signature, your favorite cake is right down here. The three of you enjoy some delectable treats. As the reception comes to, I can't read that
That's
fast.
very educational.
Educational isn't the word I'd use. They didn't mention acting once in the whole conversation. Rather, just how to avoid crowds.
I expect
And
most
get
of the
dessert.
people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
Okay. Farina's gone. Huh? But. Oh, wait. Where's the group photo? Here?
The photo must be in this envelope right here. It's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long.
No problemo.
If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours.
Any normal person would find an event like this stressful, but enough to warrant Lynette leaving halfway through. When you left the event midway, what was the real reason? I mean, if you don't really want to talk about it.
It's fine. It's just... It was such a minor thing. While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt.
Oh.
I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was.
It's not Jillian, is it? Like she's jealous of your role or whatever?
Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So, it was strange. Feeling like I was the one being spied on this time.
Could it have something to do with the original script Farina mentioned? Maybe someone's jealous of you. You did land a leading role in your first show. The biggest suspect is still Jillian, the blonde woman.
Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about.
Okay, well if you're not worried, I'm not worried.
Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now.
Oh. Why is the investigation music up again? God, I haven't heard this in ages. Lynette's envelope. You heartless puppet, you ruined this work. Hand over the role of the lead actress immediately. Oh. A threatening letter in the envelope? What the hell? What? It's a threat letter.
You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once. Based on the tone, I'd say threat letter is right.
This is far more serious than a momentary stink eye. We need to get to the bottom of it. Examine the letter to see if there's anything amiss. Think back to what was happening on the first floor while we were talking some time out. There was a lot of people downstairs at the time. Any of them could have slipped the letter into the envelope. All the envelopes were left on the table on the first floor, but nobody was tasked with watching them. I could ask reception, but it's unlikely they saw anything. Examine the letters to see if there's anything amiss. The unsealed envelope contains the group photo, and threat letter and some photographs of Lynette from during the show. This was definitely meant for her. The letter demands that Lynette step down from a leading role, but stops short of saying what will happen if she doesn't. Neither of us recognize the handwriting. It's messy, perhaps to cover their tracks? Or maybe this person was just had a messy handwriting.
I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here.
Shall we ask Mariu what he makes of you have destroyed this work of art?
Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original script that Farina mentioned. Also, I'm gonna have to ask you to stick around a while longer.
No, it's fine. Jeez, that escalated.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
How could I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations, this opportunity would have passed us by.
See? I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past were all the more reason to keep inviting her, because it turns into a big talking point. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
I'm really positive that it's Jillian.
True. Well, Jillian still needs to get a few more productions under her belt.
Oh, here we are.
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
Oh!
Ah, if it isn't the star of the show! We were just talking about you. Oh, and is that the legendary traveler with you?
That is me.
I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress, Lynette. It's no wonder you're getting such rave reviews.
Passive checks are special types of checks that need not to be actively triggered, but instead it will automatically trigger at specific times. If you pass, you'll find some hidden information, such as irregularities in the person's attitude. Really? They got this too? Oh, seriously? Okay. Inside check, this gentleman's expression seems a bit unnatural. Despite his effusive words, the look in his eyes suggests he's not quite so delighted with Lynette's newfound stardom.
I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mariu, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
Right.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Y'all were discussing something sketchy. Who was that?
Mr. Maloney. An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
We won't take up too much of your time.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
Oh, well, this is a surprise. I didn't think you'd be interested in that sort of thing.
We'd still like to know.
It's not uncommon for scripts to undergo major changes as they're being brought to the stage. But
that may be the cause, one of the causes for the threat letter.
The protagonist has stayed the same from the beginning to end. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong.
Not with the ending of the original script,
There's
though.
no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you. The success of one is the success of the other, and that's what made this show an artistic triumph.
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right, then. Delving deep in the search of core truths is the job of an artist, after all. You shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do is sow confusion where you already have clarity. The current script is the final version because it is the best version, and your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day.
If everyone's happy with Lynette's performance, then how do you explain this letter?
What letter? Oh my goodness! Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mariyu, any idea who might have written it?
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense?
We found it in the envelope containing the group photo. Could it be someone involved in the production?
Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Well, is there any way Lynette could lie low until this blows over?
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out of the question.
Oh,
the
what?
protagonist has to be played by Lynette.
They're really
Jillian
rejecting
can't-
her from the role.
She's just not what the audience is looking for.
The appeal? Really? Inside check, Mario's attitude suddenly changed and became a bit strange. Nair's eyes are darting around. He's lowering his voice.
Ah, I've got it. It's a competitor. Yes, this letter must
I think
be
he
from
has
a
an
competitor
idea.
of ours who's trying to get under Lynette's skin. You can't lie low.
But he's not
That's just what
admitting
they
it.
want you to do. The moment you step back from performing, they'll put their rumor mill into overdrive and drag us through the mud. They're just waiting for their chance to kick us while we're down.
A competitor? Really?
I don't know.
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation, and they stop at nothing once they get riled up.
You sound very familiar with their methods. Do you have a particular suspect in mind?
There's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this. Stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
So, a competitor, huh?
Do you think that's it?
I kinda doubt it.
Engie.
We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention.
Yeah, that's not a threat letter.
But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme. Besides, when I felt that evil stare,
Backstage.
I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage. So that rules out a lot of people.
Jillian.
I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual.
So you noticed that too.
Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead.
Thinking what I'm thinking?
Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her.
Do you know where she lives?
Yep. She told me she lives in the Fleuve Sandra.
Oh. Okay, that's where we're headed. Go to the Fleuve Sandra. Let's go. Oh, there she is. Wait. Is that Jillian? No, that's not Jillian.
Lynette? What are you doing? You're not welcome here.
I've been to the Fleuve Sandra plenty of times before. This is the first I'm hearing about me not being welcome.
What's with the
Things
attitude?
are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons fawning over you wherever you go, but not down here. We know what you are.
Bootlicking morons?
She's got a bone to pick with you, I guess.
I don't know. I've never met this kid before.
Gina, stop that!
Oh.
Go home now!
Jillian.
Jillian?
Gina. Younger sister.
No buts. How many times do I have to tell you? That had nothing to do with Lynette. If you don't leave right now, I swear I'll never invite you to one of my shows ever again.
Jillian, Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
A few more choice words from Gina and she storms off.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I get it. She's in her rebellious phase, huh? If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy.
Huh.
So don't worry. I won't let it get to me.
Well, this situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you. So, what brings you to the Flu of Sandra?
We came to see you. Can we talk about the original protagonist?
We heard about it from Maloney. He said you were originally supposed to play the lead.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut. I'm sorry. I never mentioned it because Director Mariyu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you.
Circumstances have changed. Lenny received this letter.
What's this?
Yeah. Threat letter. Inside check. Jillian appears surprised. On Jillian's face there's panic and doubt. The sender thinks that Lynette has destroyed the show. Could it have anything to do with the original script and protagonist?
I don't know. Who would do something like this?
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with director Mariyu many times before, but only in minor roles. The audiences and critics never had much to say about me.
Okay,
Nothing
so you were
terrible,
kind of
but
just
nothing amazing either.
the middle ground.
A few months ago, Mariyu started working on a new show, so I plucked up the courage to ask him if I could take the leading role. He was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part. We did a few rehearsals, everything seemed to be going okay, but then...
Lynette came along.
There's been a change of plan, Jillian. The leading role will now be played by Lynette.
Lynette? But she always turns these things down, doesn't she?
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity.
That's because you guys kept sending her letters.
Jillian, I understand how you must be feeling.
The letter could also be from her
Maloney
younger
and
sister
myself
then.
have to do what's best for the production as a whole.
Her tone before matched more of the letter. The attitude in the letter anyway.
The lead will be yours. I promise.
Yeah, sure, dude.
I was incredibly disappointed at first, but I also know full well that I don't have Lynette's star power. Without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay money to go and see a masked mime show? And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how would I answer to the director and the rest of the cast? Then, I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth, in a way that not many celebrities are. You were kind to everyone, and your performance wasn't bad. Whatever disappointment I had left at that point, I certainly wasn't about to take it out on you.
By wasn't bad, you mean it wasn't great either. So, I'm guessing Mariyu changed the script to simplify the protagonist, make her a dumbed-down version of the mechanical puppet that I could actually play.
He did make some changes to the script, yes.
How do we get our hands on the original draft? Who currently has it?
Jaik, one of the other actors. He likes to collect Dr. Mariyu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day. He also lives nearby. I can arrange for you to meet him at the tavern.
That'd
Makes
be
sense.
great.
I always see him talking to Mariyu. Alright, see you at the tavern then.
Go to the tavern. Here. After waiting at the tavern for a while,
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jaik?
Jillian brought me up to speed on the
Ah,
situation.
yeah, he's the other guy
I'm
there.
here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after.
It's very rough. Looks like he was constantly editing. It's practically unreadable.
That's always the way with pen and paper drafts. Even the final script is full of last-minute changes by the director. There should be a cleaner copy of the original script in here somewhere. Sorry, it's all a bit mixed up. I just grabbed the whole stack of paper since I was in a rush.
Okay.
No problem. Now activating search mode. I'll go through one page at a time.
So, oh, Trial Lynette. What you guys think? Oh, let me out.
I wonder what got into Director Mariu.
Maybe he's been quietly struggling with something.
Nope. Investigation notes. There are newspaper clippings amongst the notes. There are about shows of different styles. Those are the first 2 pages that turn yellow, which means they're quite old. Investigation. Look for mentions of Mario. Okay. Search mode. +5. Oh boy. Okay. God, I really hope the endings aren't based on RNG as well. Okay, so 15. There's 12 cards. Alright. Let's do number 6 from the right. Fuck. Skimming through the early newspaper clippings, none of the headlines mentioned are. In more recent years, there are many reportings praising Mario as a forward-thinking director, one of the greats of his era. Wait, can I not do it again? Let's see the differences between the original version of Lost Puppet. Oh God, what is there? What's the cost if I fail these? I failed one already. Okay, number 6 from this side then. Come on. Oh, okay. This one's important. There's the differences between the scripts. Act 4 seems to be a solo performance by the protagonist, and the set is just some decrepit ruins. There's no saying. This will focus on the audience attention to the solo performer. Okay, good. Investigate official script. Oh no, don't do that, Lynette, please. Mario's original script is littered with adamants. It's practically illegible. 12. We go the middle one this time. Come on. Yes. Okay. The reason it's so hard to read that it's been edited. The reason it's so hard to read is that it's been edited with correction fluid multiple times. I'd estimate that each line was rewritten at least 3 times. Looks like Mario wasn't happy with his edits. Okay. Investigate old drafts. Script seems to be Mario's older works. Some photographs of live performances are attached. Skim through. But I feel like the ones that need 15 are more important though. Shit. Dig up his past, you know what I mean? Fuck. Yo. Oh. Fuck. That's the second one we failed that needs a 15. The photos from recent years show fancy venues, polished sets, but the earlier photos show much humbler venues. I don't see anything else noteworthy. And you can't change it. Oh, shit. The official script for Lost Puppet restricted how the dancing puppet's protagonist is rejected by humanity, then begins searching on for the meaning of life. 12. There was the 2 15s we couldn't get. Let me get this one, please. 2. Come on. Okay. I always pick the 14 one for the three of them. In Act 4, the protagonist loses the ability to dance due to wear and tear in her circuitry. There's a note saying, some cursory movements to get the point across will suffice. The audience focus will be on the fancy set and the extras. Yeah, so Maloney wants this instead of the actor being the main focus, because sure.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began
Oh
and
god.
performs a dance in honor of her deceased companions.
How's that gonna affect
She dances until her joints
our
are
route?
twisted stiff and mechanical parts are falling from her body. Yep. That's not something a novice could hope to pull off after just a few months of rehearsals.
The basic plot isn't the same. She loses the ability to dance due to wear and tear in the circuitry, but there's more emotion behind the scene. The memory of her former companions coming to peace with her life. The simple set and solo performance means the lead actress has to carry the whole scene herself. It's a much more demanding role than in the final script.
Frankly, I think that the original script is much better, and the original lead is the best fit. Jillian, shall I go tell Mariu to put you back in the leading role?
What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epiclese. It's such a huge opportunity.
I mean, they've both trained for the role.
But not such a rare one for me, though, right?
That's different. This isn't you as part of a magic duo. It's a chance to star as the main character in a show. You'll reach whole new heights of fame.
Just take it. Just take the offer.
Fame in small doses has its perks, but too much and I'll get overloaded. But if you play the lead, the fame will be yours, and I get to be free. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think?
She can finally be out of there.
It'll never work. There's no way Director Mariu or Maloney would ever agree to it. The set for Act 4 would need to change, as would all the marketing materials. And that would mean asking Maloney for a lot more Mora. Changing actors at the last minute is just too risky. If anything went wrong, it could bankrupt the whole troupe. Plus, Maloney's friends have already published a ton of articles saying how this is the role that Lynette was going to play. No one else can play the protagonist now.
They're marketing Lynette more than they're marketing the show. That's so
If Lynette
scummy.
played the show and I took her place,
It would destroy the reputations of Maloney's friends. None of their future articles would have any credibility.
if Lynette left, they'd sooner stop the whole show than let me take her place.
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troupe, months and months of everyone's hard work would all be for nothing.
No wonder Mariu will say anything to try and keep Lynette on board. Convincing him to replace the lead actress won't be easy. Contemplation, is there any other way? Oh, Are you... Oh, Clue. Oh, that's good. Come on, I can't fail this. If... Oh, God. The only way for me to fail this is for me to get a number lower than 6. Okay. Alright. Hold on. Come on. I'll go 6 again. Oh. Oh wait, that was a 7. Oh, I thought that was a 1. Fuck. Oh, shit. Because the way they're drawing the numbers in the font is so weird. Oh god, I thought I got a 1. I was like, are you fucking serious? Oh, okay. We're good. We're Gucci. Ooh. Thank god. Okay, so failing 2 of the clues doesn't cost us too much, but it still, you know, cuts down on the bonuses a bit. Oof, that was close. I have an idea.
You do? What is it?
All we need to do is this, : You explain your idea to the group.
That's a bold plan. I'm in.
Okay, what did we cook
it's
up?
a little crazy, but it might actually work.
No way. It's not worth taking such a huge risk just for a chance to be in the spotlight.
No, we already planned this out.
Jillian, you
We're
said
doing
before,
it.
Whatever disappointment I had left,
We're doing
I
it.
wasn't about to take out on you. In other words, that disappointment is still there, but you've kept it bottled up inside. Be honest. You still hope to play the leading role, don't you?
But the thought of putting so many people out just for my sake?
You think they'd be put out? That's not how I see it.
Jillian, you were more dedicated than anyone during the rehearsals for the original script. We all saw how hard you worked for this role.
And for her just to get informed that, oh, no, someone else has taken your role, suddenly, boo-hoo, ugh.
And I think
that's
you know
so
that unless we
gut-wrenching.
decide to make a stand here, the path we're on is only going to take us further and further from our dreams, all of us. So take it from me, you would not be putting us out, not one bit.
Whether the plan succeeds is up to you.
You guys...
Would we have gotten a bad ending if I failed the roll check? Just now?
Okay. Let's do it. I will play my part.
Yes! I knew you'd come around. Alright, I'll let the rest of the troupe know and we'll start preparing immediately.
Because I remember God, hangouts don't usually have bad endings. The last bad ending I really actually got was the one in Yunjin's hangout. That shit came out of nowhere, bro. And it's even worse because the bad ending of that hangout was the one I ended the hangout quest on. It's like the last ending I needed clearing. Ended off on a bad note. That was so shit.
Wonderful. This solves everything.
Wait.
It's the one where you ask her for her autograph.
Do you have any idea who sent it?
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead role.
I don't know why they did that. That made me feel so shit.
But surely you want to know who it's from. If they're out there and no one's keeping an eye on them, what if they come looking for you?
I feel like it's her sister, though. I felt like the letters sounded like it could have been something Gina wrote.
I doubt they will. It's supposed to be a threat, but they didn't even say what would happen if I don't meet their demands. Plus, the handwriting is kinda childish. Doesn't look like a professional intimidator to me. Who knows? Maybe it was just a fan of yours having a moment.
Well,
A fan? Of me?
Gina would be your biggest fan.
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent. Even in the supporting roles.
Contemplation. Are you serious? Okay, 10. Okay, 10's fine. 10's alright. This time it's actually a 1. You're fucking me. Oh, God. I don't think there's any solid evidence.
It's getting late. We should be leaving.
Huh? So suddenly?
Come on.
Save me, Lynette. Save me from this RNG. Lynette grabs your hand and leads you out of the tavern. You seem to hear a sound. Oh. You notice a faint sound of sobbing in the corner as you're leaving the tavern.
I'm such an idiot.
Gina.
Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who sent the letter, so I had to act fast.
I wasn't. I wasn't. Actually, I have no idea. It's Gina.
It was Gina, Jillian's sister.
Yeah, I know. Okay, at least she came in with the save.
Just
Thank
because
God.
Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed
I
child.
Kinda
That's why I never let her visit me at work.
caught up on that already. Well, at least they're generous enough to give me a save. Farina hasn't released her official review of Lost Puppet yet, which means Gina disobeyed her sister and secretly came to watch her at work.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception and overheard our conversation with Farina.
Okay, so I don't need to retry
She
this one. I thought I'd have
idolizes
to
Jillian, both as an
redo
older
it or
sister
something.
and an actress. And she watched as the dream role Jillian had been waiting to play for so long
Yeah.
got snatched
Who would
away
be your
from her
biggest
by some
fan?
amateur who's never acted before.
Other than her own sister.
To make
you know.
matters worse, all the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's former biggest star was praising her abilities.
It was too much for her to take. She wrote that letter in the fit of anger.
Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up.
Aren't you gonna confront her about it?
Like I said, getting angry at angsty teenagers is draining. Besides, if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or had an opportunity stolen from me, they'd definitely do something far worse.
I can imagine.
I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, before we got famous, we just had to take things a day at a time. Doing our shows, slowly trying to build up our reputation.
Now look at ya.
So I can understand Gina's frustration. Still, she could definitely use some pro tips on how to write a threat letter.
No wonder she's so hostile towards you. She must have been the one giving you that evil stare, right?
No, the way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious. Plus, she didn't even try to hide how she felt. Whoever was giving me that evil stare was backstage. Blending into the crowd at a drinks reception is one thing, but trying to blend in backstage, where everyone's on high alert waiting to be called on stage, would be a lot more difficult.
So there's another person.
We'll find out who it is before too long.
Okay.
In 2 days' time, at the next show,
Lovely.
I think it will become very clear.
Ugh, Hoyoverse just loves making me turn that clock twice.
On that note, guess I'll see you at the Opera House. Bye for now.
Why? They love doing that so much. Just do a day. Why is it always a 2-day gap? It's always, ever since you updated the clock. Ugh. What was the time again? Oh, it's past 4. Alright, I'll turn it. Yes, babe, I'll turn the clock twice. It's almost a full day. There we go. Happy. It's 2 days later. Go to the Opera Epicles. Epicles. Epic. So epic. Oh. There we go. All right. Here's the day of the show. Let's see what plan did we concoct. Exactly. What's that secret plan that I didn't get the privilege to see?
Oh, you're here. Lynette and Jillian are busy getting ready, so please come with me.
Shortly after following Jack into the opera house, the curtains open and the show begins. Act 1. In the ruins.
That puppet in the middle. Is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
It's starting. Keep your voice down.
The protagonist, a dancer, has been abandoned in some... Okay, it's not timed. The protagonist, a dancer, has been abandoned in some ruins. She suspects it's because of health condition with her legs, which has affected her ability to dance. But then she finds the other abandoned puppets who look just like her. Only then does she realize her illness is just a mechanical breakdown, and she's just a dancing puppet.
Wow, I thought it would be hard to follow, but in the end it was actually very clear.
Oh, oh no, the filler NPCs are back with their blank death stares.
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like I could really understand how the protagonist was feeling.
Oh, they're gonna keep her masks the whole time, and then in the end, they reveal, oh, it's actually Jillian. Wait a sec, she can perform just as good as Lynette. No one's disappointed. In any case, they'd be pleasantly surprised. Act 2, The Journey. Some mechanical puppets believe in a myth. At the end of the world, there's a god of puppets who can turn puppets into human beings. And so, the protagonist and her companion begin their quest. But the myth is a lie, spread by someone with nothing but contempt for puppet kind. At the end of their journey, they're kidnapped, dismantled, melted down, and abused. The protagonist helped her companions escape, but in the process became trapped under the rubble of a crumbling building. She closes her eyes and enters a deep sleep.
Director Mariu really is a master of his craft. And so is the actress in the lead role.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but I gotta say, the protagonist is incredible.
Act 2 closes with thunderous applause from the crowd.
I can't believe it's only been a few days since the last show. Lynette's improved so much. Just
I
wow.
don't know.
I'm
I don't think it's
speechless.
Lynette's.
Words simply cannot do justice to the sheer excellence we witnessed from Lynette on stage today.
I'd love to see their reaction when they realize it's not her. God, these people.
Your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Almery.
That would go against
Clearly,
everything
you
they're
lost your
saying.
words when you were writing your article. I saw you hand it to the journalist. Trying to get your critique into the papers the moment the show is over, are you?
Oh, God.
Well, you know how it is. The early critics get all the readers.
You know what would be funny? Like, I know, like, the last few acts is more focused on the puppet, but, like, just imagine Lynette comes on stage for the last act as, like, some character or whatever, and then everyone's like, huh? But if she's Lynette... You know...
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Ah, the first half was a huge success. Even I could tell the acting was top tier.
He can tell.
My apologies,
No?
Mr. Maloney. Please excuse me
He
for a
can
second.
tell.
I need
He
to
was there
have a
in the
little talk with
rehearsals.
my actors.
He was there in the rehearsals. He would know the
very
differences.
well. Hey, while you're at it, this might be a good time to talk future
Shut the hell up, baloney.
collaborations with Lynette.
She knows.
Are
He knows.
you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Mariu pushes back? We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me,
Director Mariu, I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Désolé.
Corentin and Armory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. What have you done? Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Well done, director. You saw through it. I mean, he would be the one, right?
Ta-da!
Yeah. Lynette's not on stage. Mariu hears Lynette's voice behind him. Beside her is the protagonist, but without her costume and mask.
Director Mariu? I was the one playing the lead role just now.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion and stay out of the limelight.
Smart.
Lynette, why on earth would you do this?
To prove that Jillian's just as capable.
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason I'm being seen as a pro, let alone a pioneer, is because you have critics supporting the show.
Just milking off of it, bro. But right now, there's a whole audience out there, and you have no hope of paying them all off. Alright, sorry fellas, we're on our second ad break already, so we'll quickly pause that and we'll run the ads. Here we go. Damn. Let me check my recording.
Marry you?
Ton of articles saying how this.
Okay. 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 It's good. It's good. It's good. What the hell are those people doing in Discord? Oh. Huh. Okay. Alright, 1.5 minutes left of ads and we can continue. Well, hold on. I'll say this when I start recording again. There we go. I would say the addition of this mechanic is a very nice touch. It adds something new to the Hangout thing. I think it's good that they did that. Well, I mean, some people might find the whole RNG aspect of it kind of annoying if, like, you haven't played Baldur's Gate. Or even if you have, maybe you still find it annoying. But I personally think it's a nice change. I'm fine with it. They... Well, hey, then again... Would they keep doing this, though? Because it's kind of like a hat from Lynette in Fontaine that makes sense in this context. So I hope they keep this mechanic. Right? I mean, the hat is in our inventory. Oh well, we'll see. But right now, yeah, there we go.
If they'd seen me in the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But what happens now that they've seen Jillian in the role? If you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving such an underwhelming performance right at the climax of the whole story?
Or is this director not all he's cracked up to be? Is it because she's not good enough to enough actress to play the role? Were the critics wrong?
These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half. And those questions will follow them out the doors of the theater after the show ends.
You don't want the show to end on a sour taste. Do you think the critics will still have any credibility then?
There's only one way for you to save your reputation. And that's to keep Jillian as the lead all the way to the end.
Does this count as blackmail?
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having technical difficulties and need to stop the show. If I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen in the curtain call when she takes her mask off? Everyone will see that we've changed actors. What will your fans think? They're only here because of you, and what about all the critics who support you? If we get on the wrong side of them, it'll be the death of the whole show. There'd be tickets to refund, fines to pay for breach of contract. The whole troupe's hard work would go down the drain. Don't you see how much this would cost us? You can't just take a job on a whim, then abandon your responsibility the moment you don't feel like doing it anymore. You're playing games with other people's hopes and dreams.
Director Mariu, please. You're not being fair to Lynette.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. I did kind of take this on a whim. But my responsibility here is making sure you get back the role that belongs to you.
And we have to convince the people she's capable, right?
And I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering I badgered you into accepting the job.
Fucking Linny jump scare. Hello? Well, that him appearing from the cards kind of cool. Look who finally decided to show up. Did you bring all your props?
Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Work's been keeping me pretty busy lately.
Linny? What do you want? Do you think you can snap your fingers and make all my problems magically disappear?
Maybe.
That might be a little tricky, but instead, I could make something else magically appear.
Eh?
What's this?
A draft complaint letter, my contract, your legal fees, reimbursement for the tickets, and an advance on the penalty fee for breach of contract.
Oh,
Mr. Mariu, I'm stepping down from the leading role, regardless of whether you choose to cancel the rest of today's show.
They prepared.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this, you're free to seek damages as per the contract.
Damn.
And if you want to file a lawsuit, there's a draft here that you can use if you need it.
5 steps ahead. Gee.
I can't believe this. You're literally handing me a lawsuit against you with a straight face. Of course.
Yeah.
All this Mora, it's a pittance to you, isn't it? Must be nice to have the luxury of prior success and fame.
Just
look at us. We're huge stars. One minute we want to go on stage. The next we feel like backing out of the contract. But that's okay. We're famous. We can afford it. You have no respect for other people's work. You're treating other people's hopes and dreams like a big joke.
I mean, also, Lynette's kind of tired of the whole thing, so I guess this means other people won't bother her anymore, other directors. But still, they mean well for Jillian.
You how much this show means to other people. You don't even care that the whole production might have to shut down because of you.
That's not true. I do care, and I'm under no illusion as to how much this show means to you.
Oh, brilliant deduction there. Of course it means a lot to me. This is my show.
He's really not
That's
having
the only
it.
reason I asked you to be in it in the first place.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story? The way you look at me, it's full of contempt.
Oh, it's Mariu giving her the stink eye.
Almost as if I've destroyed your work of art.
Ah, so it was Mariu. He's the one who was looking at Lynette with contempt.
What? I would never think that.
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging for me. I was interested to know who else you invited to play the lead apart from Lynette. Surprise, surprise. Turns out that all the other famous actresses you asked either had prior commitments or weren't a good fit for the role. They all turned you down.
And I would have turned you down too, if not for an unlikely set of coincidences.
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian, but because your investor wanted a big name in your show, right?
Director Mariu.
It's clear as day that Jillian is an outstanding actress, but fame was the key factor, and that was the one thing she didn't have.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
But then Lynette actually accepted your invitation, and her acting debut was sure to attract attention.
I bet you were torn at first, weren't you? Do you stick to the tried and tested formula? Choose Lynette, use her celebrity to get the critics on your side so that you and your investors can line your pockets?
Or do you choose Jillian? so that you and your longtime collaborator can stage the show of your dreams. The original, unedited version of The Lost Puppet.
Whether you did it because of pressure from your investors or because you were lured in by the money. Ultimately, you betrayed yourself by choosing Lynette.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't betray myself.
You mentioned prior success and fame earlier, but you're a well-known director yourself, with countless works to your name. Wouldn't that make you successful too? Or maybe, deep down, none of your current achievements really count as success to you.
Always appealing to the public.
Right now, you have an opportunity to send Jillian onto that stage and perform the second half as you always imagined it, faithful to your original script. Your work would be displayed for all of Fontaine to see.
It's actually like
It's
something
true,
you care
perfect
about
form.
instead of, you know.
Did you say perfect?
Will you keep pursuing a kind of success that you don't even value at the cost of your own artistic integrity?
Or will you act now before Maloney and the critics can protest and make your dream come true on the stage? And Jillian's dream. In fact, the dreams of the whole troupe.
The whole troupe?
Director Mariu? Actually, most of the money Lenny brought came from us. We all chipped in.
Oh wow.
We've worked with you for many years now. Your troupe has been here for you all the way from the
Aw,
empty theaters where we first
look at him.
performed to the opera house today.
Aww.
We watched as you slowly started down a path you used to despise, the path of powerful connections.
Yet they still
drinks
followed you,
receptions,
you know, to
backdoor
today.
deals with critics and collaborations based on fame instead of talent.
But this is just a temporary measure. I did it for the good of the troupe. And besides, this is how the whole industry works. Everyone else is doing it.
You know, if I had a penny that's of every acting troupe that we as the Traveler has assisted in helping with the other character in Fontaine, I'd have 2 pennies. You know, which is not much, but it's nice, and it happened twice. It's like the same thing with Farina's story quest, the Little Oceanic. Although, you know, the troupe still ended up disbanding, but you know, ended off on a good note. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, we know. Back when you started, you had to bite the bullet and do these things to keep the troupe afloat. But then what happened? You began to embrace these methods more and more, becoming so reliant on them that every show you put out is overhyped by the media, and every script you write is edited to suit some celebrity's needs. Surely you must
It's
have
way
noticed
too
what's
tailored
happening.
and
While
generic.
we were performing at bigger and bigger theaters with each show, the applause is getting quieter and quieter each night. And the criticism from people who've seen the show is growing. Maloney's friends are sycophants. They don't care if the audience is disappointed because the show doesn't live up to their glowing reviews. They praise the things they like and skirt around the things they don't.
Look, I know everyone's using the same promotional tactics, but does that really make it okay?
Well, it's just a stopgap solution. As soon as I've made enough Mora, I'll stop. Things will be different next time. I promise.
Next time, huh? Yeah. Next time, you won't use your connections. Next time, you won't pay off the critics. Next time, you'll let Jillian play the lead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you make some money once, you'll want to do it again, then again. Slowly but surely, you turn your back on your dreams.
I won't turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director Mariu. Never again.
Me neither.
Aye. Oh god, persuasion. Okay, come. Surely my one action isn't gonna affect the ending. Five. 12. 27. No, 17. 20. 23. The only way I'd fail this is if I get a 1. That was still low. That was still low. Thank God for those bonuses.
Had dreams too.
What would have happened if I failed that?
What?
Act 3 admits the rubble. An unknown period of time elapsed before a group of mechanical puppets finally cleared the rubble, freed the protagonist, and then reactivated her. They told her, "You have been buried here for thousands of years. The mechanical puppets now rule the world." It turned out that the puppets who had started the uprising were none other than the protagonist's companions, whom she had rescued all those years ago. The protagonist was now revered as a hero by all of puppet kind. The mechanical puppet asked the protagonist what she wishes for, but she only wishes for one thing: a dance.
Huh. The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
Well,
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers. Huh? Wait, hang on, that's not even what's happening. The set has changed back to the one from the first act.
alright. Let's see the reception.
Oh, Cons. Please let this work out.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
Linny is putting his experience at fooling people to work. You two should definitely keep in touch.
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script is better, but will it move them like I've always hoped? When Jillian does her curtain call, will they applaud her?
We'll just have to wish for the best.
What if people only came
Let's
to see
see.
the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now I'm scared to go outside the walls and hear what people really think.
We're right here with you. We'll watch it to the end.
Act 4 admits the ruins. Original script. The protagonist rejects the other puppet's offer of new parts and a grand stage built in her honor. Her only wish is to see her companions again. But she is told that they gave their lives for the revolution. Their bodies lie buried in the ruins where they first met. The protagonist returns to the ruins alone, to where her journey first began. She performs one last dance before the graves of her companions. Her circuitry burns out and her parts come loose and fall up from her body. But she keeps dancing until her body completely shuts down. It has taken her thousands of years, but at last she has finally found a reason for dancing. Oh.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
God, you see the filler NPCs in the background? Ugh, so creepy.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist.
He's got the cat ears and the hoodies. That would have been a giveaway, actually. But, alright. Look at that.
Time for the curtain call. It's the moment of truth.
Well,
Will the applause continue after I take off the mask?
I'd expect a few gasps here and there, but...
I could always leave my mask on. No one would ever know.
Wait, it was Jillian? What? Nice, see? There we go.
This is what fame looks like when it's truly deserved.
It works.
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance.
Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly.
What looked
a good
like
plot.
an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or whatever.
Oh no, I can't take any more of that. See?
Hey,
See?
Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the
Oh,
lead?
piss off.
Our articles are already going to press. You better have a good explanation for this.
It was my...
Oh, he's gonna stand in.
Hey now, it was all of our...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone. They had nothing to do with it.
Good chap. Good chap.
If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
Shut up, baloney. His worst fears coming true. Time for Act 5.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today. You have some explaining to do.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Marry you. Explain yourself.
Wait. Lenny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall. It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile the notion of her humanity. The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
Hold up. What is this
That's a good excuse.
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Oh, he's dissing them now.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
Of course. You guys are connoisseurs, aren't you? Yeah,
You must
Amari.
have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely.
Gee.
Mr. Amari, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
I'm sure that will help Director Mariu by setting future audiences up for the surprise twist at the end.
Yes, you're right. Director Mariu and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions. I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Oh, you know, if only.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this true?
If only.
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who
Don't think
weren't
anyone's
satisfied
refunding
with
their
the
tickets.
experience.
But based on their reaction today, I think that what most people want to see is an excellent piece of theater, and not celebrity cameos.
Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see. I'm sure audiences will be very happy with the show if she's allowed to stay in the leading role.
Some reviews have said that Lynette's gave the performance of the year. Wouldn't you say Jillian's was the performance of a lifetime?
Maloney, I believe there should still be time to tweak my article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Yeah, take that, you people.
Oh, one other thing.
Such
We
a sincere
managed to get a
face.
meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course. Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on Jillian's performance and the quality of the show as a whole. She promised to give her
that'll
honest
be
opinion.
really good.
And I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
What about you, Mr. Coraton? Or Coratin, I don't know. How would you rate the show?
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Oh, of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
Sourface, Maloney leaves the critics in the low. You and Lily express yourself and leave. The actors got a little look at the next show. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Do you think this move needs jazzing up a little?
Not jazzing up, per se. I was thinking more like
Break it down.
You know?
Oh, there's Gina.
Gina? You snuck in? When? I thought I told you no visiting me at work.
I'm sorry, Jillian, but I had to come.
Well, she must have been happy with the performance.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself.
At least you came to your senses just in time, and you got an amazing group of talented people behind you.
You're right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received?
No, we know what that is already.
I've been looking into it a lot
Sorry.
in the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors after all.
It's fine. It's fine.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop
An
her.
apology.
Lynette, I'm sorry!
Lynette just shot me a glance. I think she's unsure which mode to use in this situation. Performance. Oh well, we're in the... It's only 6, dude. Ugh, easy. God damn, a 7. A 17. The one time I don't need you to overshoot, and it's a guaranteed win, brother. Alright, sure. Give me a 22.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, but...
I don't know what you're talking about. Great to meet you,
do
by the
mean
way.
when we ran into you at the Fleuve Sandra? And you said some mean things to me?
Yeah, it's no
As I
biggie.
recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister. It was just a few words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh. I see. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she did was wrong. Owning up to your mistakes and committing to do better in the future is what counts.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively, and without arousing suspicion.
Alright, that's enough. Stop giving her ideas.
Got it.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Lynette.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. I was wondering where you'd all run off to.
Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes this so much easier.
What's up?
What do you think? It's group photo time.
Ah.
We have to commemorate the debut of the Lost
The director's
Director's
cut.
Edition. Okay, everyone, we all have pretty awkward smiles on our faces in the photo from Hotel de Boer. So this time, no forced smiles allowed.
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile?
Is smiling tough for you? Just, you know.
I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
Lynette, Traveler, come on. You two should be right in the middle.
3, 2, 1, smile!
Ah, oh, look at this. A roaring success. My line of sight was a little off. It's fine as long as your smile's genuine. Look at that, that's all nice. What a... Review invitation. What a nice first ending. What the hell? That was a really good ending. For my first path. That was a really good story. Okay, I thought not getting to help Bonnie with the thing was gonna be a bit of a bum, but hey, I'll take it. This is a really good first route. Oh god, we could have ended it right here. One of the endings is right off of here. Oh, okay. Okay. Nothing here pretty much deviates it at all, so we're good. And then this is an entirely new route. This is if we help Bonnie. I don't know, though. Okay. I have to see at the end. I usually do this. I also have to see what I would consider to be the canonical ending, right? 2 hours for one ending. I really liked it, though. This is a very good ending. Right. Ending 2.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone.
Huh. Oh, really? Wait and see what things play out.
I was the one who wrote it.
Familiar like Hazel's hangout.
What?
Oh.
Gina? So it was you?
Director, it's time for... Oh.
Uh.
Okay. Weird energy here.
Jacques, just stand back.
I think we came at a bad time.
Lynette, Gina must have been worried sick about me. I'm sure even
she's
she
your little
wouldn't do
sis.
something so
I mean...
stupid if she was in her right mind. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you somehow.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the one who should have to bear the consequences. I got the wrong end of the stick and completely misjudged Lynette.
Shall we hear what Lynette has to say?
Well, since I haven't actually suffered any losses, seeking redress could be difficult. Maybe we could just...
I'm so glad they have the skip dialogue option, though. Right to the one you haven't picked. Whew. Saves me time.
Really? Are you sure?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first person to ever misjudge me. Right?
True. True.
In any case, I think we can all agree it was a misunderstanding and nothing more. No need to overcomplicate things.
But still, I was
Alright,
wrong to write that letter.
just
I
learn
should
your
own up to my
mistake.
actions, make it up to you in some way.
It's already good that you're admitting it. She seems pretty insistent. Kids at this age are really stubborn.
If that's what you really want, then how about helping out backstage?
Huh? Backstage?
The crew could always use an extra hand. Plus, It'll give your older
Aw.
sister a chance
I mean,
to
you
keep
want to
an
see her
eye on
perform
you
anyway, right?
and stop you getting into any more trouble.
Sounds like a win to me.
Thank you, Lynette. Really. Thank you so much.
Really? This is what deviates. Oh no. After a few days later, once you make your way to Opera House. Oh, you're finally awake. The show's about to start.
Is it? I'm so much more at home here in the audience. I get to sit on a comfy seat.
We're in one of the
and I don't
VIP
have to activate my
seats too.
energy-consuming modes all the time.
Sounds like Gina got more than she bargained for out of that backstage job. You gave her your supporting role in the play too. Oh, that's nice.
Mary
She gets to
said
act
she's a very
alongside.
promising young actress, and she has natural chemistry with her older
That's
sister.
so nice.
In their capable hands, the show doesn't need me to attract an audience anymore. Phew. Freedom at last.
You don't even feel a little bit disappointed? Fame was right around the corner. She doesn't want that. She has enough of that.
Fame is more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather leave that side of things to my brother and the others.
Linny's more of a people guy anyway.
I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on.
Like you're doing right now?
Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
Aw, okay. That's nice. Second ending already. A seat in the audience. Where there is someone performing on the stage, there will always be others clapping in the audience. Like me! You go, Gina. You go, Jillian. Save that. Ah. Okay, yeah, so... pretty much not a lot of deviation from this path. I'm glad. I really like this path. God, I didn't know it was gonna be so good. It's good. Alright. Weird. Ending hints. And now we trace back all the way to here. This is gonna be the Bonnie or no Bonnie moment. So I don't know. I feel like look, okay, I'll save my thoughts for the end, but I really want to say something about what I want to be canon. I'll see where the Bonnie storyline leads me. Surely they can't all be that good, because I want to place the acting troupe routes at the top. Hi, cat.
I didn't like that.
Skip. Okay.
Alright.
Surely I'll be luckier this time. We just need higher than 5. Higher than 5. Okay. Last time I picked the card 3. No. Yeah. Come on. Higher than 5. Go. No, I didn't click. Go.
Back to the... There's 20 cards in total.
Are you fucking G? I have to go to sleep. Alright, hey. Thanks, Ghost Time. Thanks, Ghost. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by for the stream. Good. Are you... Jesus. Ugh. Come on. It's like me... It's like the same with me in Baldur's Gate. I just load a save to try the roll again.
Alright.
Please, just... Okay, thank you. God. Was that so hard?
Looking for Bonnie's owner?
I have to ask about the deck of
There's
cards.
20 cards in total.
I know.
I should also mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just set that to wherever I feel like.
Wow, you really don't want to go to that reception party.
To put it in perspective, I said I'd only do the show if I drew a 1. Fate can be pretty sneaky sometimes.
She had a critical failure. So, how do you plan to find Bonnie's owner?
I think I'll go to the Steambird and see about putting an ad in the paper. You wanna come along? I think Bonnie wants you to come with.
Bonnie! Meow! Sure, if it means I get to hang out with you for a bit longer. Meow meow. Good cat. Well, we are officially stepping onto the Bonnie route. Where's your owner? Bonnie. Charlotte, maybe? She's gonna be Estienne. You phrase. Fuck, wrong
Every
person.
stupendous day starts with a steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler. What can I help you with?
We wanted to ask about the latest Tales of Humanity column. Any commissions in there about a missing cat?
I don't think so. Have you picked up a stray?
Not exactly.
Yep.
Well,
If there's no commission to follow up on, could we post a notice about the missing cat instead?
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do. Just fill out the form.
meow.
Well, we've registered you as missing. You can stay at my place until your owner finds you.
Meow.
Also, I just wanted to say thanks for keeping us company for so long. Well, I should probably head back to the drinks reception. Hopefully most of the people have left by now. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie. There's a nice cup of tea in it for you.
I'll be there.
Alright, see you then.
Interesting. So, in this route, does that whole thing even happen? I mean, if we follow the timeline of events, she should have still gotten the threat letter anyway. So what then? Wait, what the fuck was the time? Oh, it's 7. Blech. We should be on the second route, right? We are. Good. 7777. That's weird to think about when you like does it still happen? Did that storyline just never play out? Don't know.
Should be fine.
Whoop. Oh, is she the owner?
I believe this cat belongs to me.
Bernand, director of the Humane Society.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
That is not how I expected this to play out.
Just take a breather, you two.
What, is there a lot of black and white cats in Fontaine? What's going on?
Oh,
With yellow bow
here.
ties?
As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you. At least for now.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
Inside, this lady's expression seems a bit unnatural. The way she speaks is loud and authoritative. It's like she's deliberately using her tone of voice to dispel any doubts about her integrity.
No, it's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society.
The gentleman's expression seems a bit unnatural. The hesitation in his voice seems like he could be hiding something. His gaze keeps drifting off to the side. It's like he's trying not to draw attention to himself. How about we let Bonnie decide?
Bonnie?
Yeah, we named him, apparently.
That's the name I've given her in the meantime.
Meow. Animal handling. Oh, okay. Alright, it's an 8. Let's pick the 8th card then. Kitty! I'm great with cats. See? Easy. Bonnie happily runs up to you and begins traveling through your legs.
Complicates things.
Oh, shit. It seems she quite likes me. There's no way to tell who their owner is.
I told you before.
Go cat
This is my
chainsaw.
friend's cat.
Ugh.
It's normal for her not to trust me.
My alter ego. Go cat chainsaw.
Listen, I'm the
Oh,
director
that sounds so
of the
weird.
Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me.
Then how are you so sure she belongs to you? Is it the bow tie? Or...
She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case.
Grabbing
If
myself.
she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. And even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in. If no one else comes to claim her, that is.
Right. What is the Humane Society?
We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. You're the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Interesting, because that's one of the options. That was the one of the options I didn't pick when we were talking with Euphraise.
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat? If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here. She would be the only remaining option after all.
It belongs to my friend.
With us here to keep watch, it should be fine.
Go on, Bonnie.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
You were a little sus. So this is your friend's cat?
Oh, yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
They both did, I think.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
Oh shit, Sylvie. Oh, that's another gifted sub. Thank you. Man, I really appreciate it. You donated a $10 for the stream today. Thank you. That's so much. You guys. Thank you. Like I said, I'm gonna run out of thanks to give eventually. There's only so much I can say. You know what? I'll put you on the higher. You've gifted out tons of subs at this point. I can put you on the higher tier. There you go. That's the least I can do. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards, or some similar organization.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here, Bonnie, what's her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation.
I think I may be wrong, but this sounds like either Beto or Clohan's English VA.
A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that
Or
we
it could
were on
be
his
someone
tail and
completely
fled.
different.
That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird, so I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him.
If I were on the run, I don't think I'd come back either.
The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that he would show himself, I had to follow up on the lead.
So, what's being smuggled?
A new kind of illegal drug. Imitation synth.
Oh, fucking hell. Again? Oh. It's like cigarettes and then electric cigarettes. Ugh. God damn. We just dealt with that whole thing like a few patches ago.
We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking for a way to get their next fix.
What a pain in the ass.
Criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation.
I mean, sadly, it's reality,
Needless
so
to say,
what can I say?
The small-scale market opened up very quickly. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their sales overseas before those measures could kick in. That's when the imitation synth smuggling began.
Oh, no.
We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions.
Just fake drugs.
What we were able to find out,
Just
however,
for people to get a
hasn't
kick.
proven that useful given the amount of time that has passed. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an
So
investigation to
annoying.
track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that.
Okay.
That's how we learned about Bonnie's owner.
I'm for real here. No, it's still alright, Sylvie. It's alright. Who is he exactly?
He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute. His name is Pierre.
Pierre.
Pierre Lafayette, to be exact.
Fefer.
Lefebvre.
You know? Lynn's expression seems a bit unnatural. Do you like the hangout so far? I think it's great, actually. I love the first route. The first route with the two endings at the end. The theatrical troupe one storyline was pretty wholesome, actually. I'll see if the Bonnie storyline lives up to it.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him.
T? Is that a 2? T2? J? And a ruler. Is that a ruler?
At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal much to go off of either. The Marechaussee Phantom very nearly left it at that. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lafayette family, one of the most infamous aristocratic families in Fontaine. Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however, we discovered that he'd already fled. Now the guards and the Special Patrol are all searching for him.
Could his family be hiding him?
That's not possible, actually. The Lefebvre family has been gone for a long time.
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family, including the patriarch, were murdered by an assassin of unknown origin. From that point on, the family's power and influence took quite the hit.
Oh shit. This were the people that took them in first. And who Arlecchino fucked up. No wonder Lynette reacted like that. I was like, why? What? Ugh. Jeez. That's cool. They actually like. Okay, it's not cool, but like they actually. Yeah, they managed to put this in the Hangout. That's. No wonder they were. Of course, they were treated so badly back then. Like, they were almost gonna sell Lynette off. The bunch of bastards.
The family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, there's no shortage of people waiting in the wings to take their revenge. And with the family severely weakened, they were able to do just that. Most of the remaining family members succumbed to sickness or hunger. The ones that survived are currently living out their days under a new identity.
You know what? Deserved. Jeez.
Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. His true identity unbeknownst to all. Until now, that is.
It's a shame you weren't there when Arlecchino showed up then. Sheesh. Is it really okay to share all of this information with us?
Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart and courageous you both are. And I know you possess a strong sense of justice. There could be a chance that Pierre, or one of his accomplices, might attempt to get close to Bonnie. Now that you've been briefed on the situation, I was hoping you'd help us keep a lookout.
This little kitty is involved in all this. Meow.
If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, there's no way Pierre will try and come for her. Not even the most daring of criminals would attempt something like that.
Well, we're using Bonnie as bait then, is that it? So we should keep Bonnie with us for the time being? Poor little thing. Ears twitching.
I have to admit, I'm not holding out too much hope that Pierre will come back for her. But if there's even the slightest chance, then it's worth a shot. Well, I've got some other leads to follow up on. If Pierre does appear, please contact me right away.
If Pierre does appear. Why is this so funny? If Pierre does appear. My humor, bruh. If Pierre does appear. That's a lot of Pierre. What's wrong? What's wrong? Bro, this is trauma. It's PTSD. You don't look so good.
It's nothing. I'm fine.
It's really not.
It's just the head of the Lefebvre family. He was the eminent person who kidnapped me all those years ago. It was at a dinner party. Someone tricked me into boarding the Lefebvre family carriage. Whoever it was, they
It
took
was
me
the
back to
family
their
she
home.
was sent to. And she was a kid back then. God, people are so fucking disgusting.
Before anything worse could happen, Father intervened.
So that's what happened. Then the assassin Elodie mentioned. Yeah, Arlecchino.
Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated the fall of the Lefebvre family.
Take that.
That's what led Lenny and I to join the House of the Hearth. After all these years, I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre name again.
You okay?
Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself.
It's really not something you
I
want
was
to be
just
reminded
thinking
of.
about Lenny. He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for days on end, consumes himself with some secret investigation, and then out of the blue pushes me to do that acting job. Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one I drew from that deck of cards was part of his plan all along. He must have asked Fermanet to help him out. In any case, I know he's hiding something from me. He's really pulled out all the stops this time.
You think he knows about Pierre?
It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though.
He's looking out for you.
Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever.
I don't. You would never want something like that
You'll
to
have to
happen
help me teach him a
again.
lesson if we run into him along the way.
Come on. Along the way, are we going somewhere?
Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode and then we'll head out. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into Lenny along the way.
Are you trying to help out Lenny with this investigation, or are you trying to prove yourself?
A little bit of both, perhaps. For the most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. I'm just not sure what.
I also want to know what secrets he's hiding. Sometimes you've just got to take the bull by the horns, right? Indeed.
Okay, I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once that's done, we can head out.
And with that being said, God, we're on another ad break. So hang on, fellas.
But I also see the meaning.
We got some balls to roast. Hey.
I believe I will continue
Facts,
to take
brother.
pride in fulfilling my duties.
Facts. There we go. Alright, we got an ad running. I know it makes sense, but the last thing I expected them to bring up in a Hangout event was something like Lynette's and pretty much the siblings' backstory, essentially. That's a nice touch. I like that. I really do.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them.
Because I remember like reading and about it, also hearing about it, but oh shit, I should have claimed that. Shit. Sings. Nothing for me to sing yet. Use resin. Ugh. Use resin. Use resin. Fuck. Ugh. Oh, go to the fountain. Well, since we're in our ad break, I'll get my trials done. Look, okay, in like a more fitting occasion, alright? There's nothing to sing right now.
Pull in! Don't waste my time.
Oh!
Okay, that one hurt. It's showtime!
Appa, 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 appa.
Attaboy!
Hey, 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 hey. Alright, so let's see. We do this. Goro.
Give up. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's look.
Who wants some of this?
Where's the... Oh, it's a Rune Guard. Of course it's a Rune Guard. You want Chiori? See? You should save some of those sub money. You want characters, right? Gacha don't come cheap. I assure you.
Don't waste my time.
Out of the frying pan, it's...
Look, I appreciate your support enough already. I really do.
Going in. Let's light it up.
Alright, let's... They really put Xiangling in this trial to carry the whole thing, bro. That's hilarious. Yes, oh my god, Chiori's damage is so good. And like 50% of it comes from Xiangling. And another Rune Guard. Oh my god. Oh. Alright. I will just claim this. Hey. Okay, and we're good to go again. On our way to the Fontaine Research Institute. Okay, am I pull for Churi? If you do, good luck with that. She's got 9 days left. So, better make up your mind before then. Dang, wait, really? Actually, yeah, she has 9 days? Jesus. Jesus. Oh shit, I can almost get another 10 pool. Let's go. Saving up this primo gem. Oh. Oh, Chefers. Chefers. I've seen you already in the story quest.
You're, not at rehearsal?
Haha, we're on to you, Lenny.
You can drop the act,
We
brother.
got your ass.
In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon. You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that, even when we were kids.
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too
To be
good.
fair, the masked mime show turned out to be more than just a distraction.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
This is Officer Shavras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
Okay. It's awkward. You're aware we've met for the thing. Yeah. We meet again.
Nice to see you.
Hi.
I should clarify something. Mr. Lenny's here at my invitation, not the other way around. To borrow your expression, Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything. We've brought on Mr. Lenny as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a perpetrator who used magic tricks to commit crimes. I was hoping he'd be able to provide some valuable insight this time around as well.
Are you here because of the Lefebvre case?
So you've heard everything then?
Bit of a coincidence.
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding the fall of the Lefebvre family. Some people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved.
What do you mean? No. No. No.
Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that
Chevrolet, you're too smart. Stop. No. Stop.
I took
Please.
a look at the entrance and exit
Stop
records
turning
of all
those
the
cogs.
carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to deduce that there's ill will between you two. Don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect, and I certainly don't plan on going to bat for such a despicable family. Plus, you were victims back then more than anything. I sought Mr. Lenny's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more.
You're really teaming up with the House of Hearth.
The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as people, not the organizations we represent. Besides, by working together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible. You can hardly say that's at odds with the justice my organization strives for.
I'm assuming you wouldn't be opposed to some extra help?
Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Too late now, boy.
Lenny, I'm not the same person I was back then. That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in fear. She doesn't need saving anymore.
I know you want to protect your little sister, but little sisters don't stay forever. Don't stay little forever. Right.
I'm sorry, Lynette. You're right. I let my concerns get the better of me.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me, you should try a different approach.
Meow. Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated.
It's the cat that brought us here in the first place.
Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is... Lynette?
Hey.
Traveler, welcome to the team.
Merci. Chefers and Lenny share with you what they've learned over the past few days.
It appears the Lefebvre family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems. The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
So that would mean Pierre is a bastard child?
It's highly likely.
Oh.
That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the fall of his family relatively unscathed. It would also explain why he was able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute in name only. He's practically been cast out.
Wait, what happened?
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect. He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions. But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. In any case, they had to table their formal investigation into Pierre. Unfortunately, that also included reporting any relevant information to the higher authorities. As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse.
Maybe we'll have to take our investigation elsewhere then. Did you find anything useful at his residence?
Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at his residence in Poisson. Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, it appears the substance leaves behind strong traces wherever it's produced or stored. Those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not something our guard poodles would miss. Pierre's home, though, came up completely clean.
Let's get Baguette up in here.
We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either. So, the Marechaussee Phantom didn't view him as a major suspect at
I
first.
still can't believe one of the guard poodles is called Baguette. That's funniest shit ever.
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area
Baguette,
where
go.
he made the imitation synth.
Bite the shit out of him.
Well, his neighbors did say he
Arf,
was
arf,
often
arf.
gone for long stretches of time. You would think with him out and about so much, people would have spotted him around Poisson, but residents said they barely ever saw him in town.
Sorry, folks. Give me a sec.
If his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a secret base to carry out his business.
After he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any suspicious locations.
Poisson.
What is it, Lynette?
You know Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie? To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean. It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
A cat? You mean...
Yeah. Bonnie. Meow.
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report. So this is her?
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
She must have wandered off only after Pierre brought her to his secret base.
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
Wait, you think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
Lynette could give it a try. Animal handling. I can give it a go. Meow. Meow meow. 12. I'm not a cat person, but exactly. I'm gonna manifest the go cat chainsaw inside me. Bonnie seems to understand what you want her to do. She flicks her tail, meow.
Near the coast.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Beach,
Good cat.
beneath the
Good kitty.
cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the court of Fontaine.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
Well, if it works
Well,
out,
yeah.
maybe it's something worth getting used to.
It's kind of like the parrot witness from Ace Attorney. That shit was funny.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone. But humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact. Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
The important thing is that we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the clues Bonnie gave us.
800 meters away in this direction. Oh, right on the TP point. Splendid. How far are we along with this route? Oh god. Ooh, oh no. We could have... Wait, could we have? I don't know. It looked like it could have deviated somewhere. Meow?
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
You're not gonna go towards the fish that's randomly on the ground? Because why? Why is there a fish on the ground? Why is there a fish on the ground?
Gardemex ahead.
Look out!
Oh, no problem. Nuvelet, go be Nuvelet.
The tides beckon. Bow your...
Go. Thanks, Nuvelet, you're the best. Hey. Oh. Potions, drugs, bruh. Look at those. Ooh, what are the colors of
Wow,
those
Lynette,
sacks?
You found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the special patrol here and now. No questions asked.
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
Okay. Ew, look at the color of those bags. What the hell? Red potion, brown potions, blue potions.
Aha! Just as we thought. This is where the imitation synth was being made.
Yee. These bottles and jars, they're all imitation synth?
Looks like he's got more than just imitation synth stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify. These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell. The Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff.
Except
I'm sure that was
poodles.
the case for Pierre as well. It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for?
Look at these purple, bluish sacks
The
of...
material these bags are made of, it's quite rare.
What the fuck? Doesn't it look similar to the material used for your magic pockets? Does
The very
it?
same, actually. Romaritime flower fiber.
Oh.
But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant.
Some good bags.
Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less durable as well.
So, kind of like one of those small sealed bags.
Very similar, actually. Normally, it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitation synth, but if it was sealed away in a bag like that, it might be possible to elude detection.
God, he's
for
taking
some
a
time.
lot of precaution, this guy.
But what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
With how colorful they are. Hello. What else? This? No. This? No. Behind. What else? Oh no, just kitty. Cat
when
talk.
the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house,
Cat.
There was no sign of these barrels, right?
He must have moved them, but carrying them all the way out here would attract way too much attention.
You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things.
Examine the barrels.
How did he get them here then?
The barrels show signs of water damage. Dried up water stains can be seen around the circumference of the barrels. There seems to be a pattern to the location of the water stains. For some reason, they appear to be limited to the lower half of the barrels. Lower half. The lids don't seem very tight, leaving sizable gaps around the edges, but there doesn't seem to be any traces of water inside the barrels.
Only the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been submerged in water.
Based on the various ingredients we've found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
That's why the Marechaussee Phantom didn't find anything suspicious in his home.
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses. The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick search would reveal everything. That's still a very risky operation.
What about if the drop-off happened at sea? There'd be no one around to see him.
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry. As if they'd been standing upright in the water.
Uh-huh.
If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side. Unless it's heavily loaded, in which case it'll sink.
So he must have used something to tightly seal the bags full of air, turning them into airtight flotation devices.
Yes. With flotation rings around the body
Genius,
of the barrels,
actually.
they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
Huh.
You think he used floating barrels?
Wow.
I suppose if he acted at night, when there are very few other boats around and visibility is low, it's a valid theory. We can't rule it out.
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Barrels that could float away get lost at sea. Sounds difficult to keep one in place. Kind of like certain pets. Yeah, you. Good boy.
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with me? I have a feeling that somewhere down there, we might find some rope. If a rope can be used to keep a pet from running away, then why not a barrel?
I can't believe how much progress we're making with this investigation. Without your help, getting this far would have taken me an awful lot of time and manpower.
Really? Okay. Well, thanks, Shivers. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, shit. Cat. Kitty.
It's rare to see Lynette in serious mode. I wonder how long she'll keep it activated for.
Alright, time to jump. Okay. Well, that's gonna be confusing, isn't it?
The wreckage of a small boat?
I mean...
This isn't the place.
I always reference you as Sylvie first. And foremost. Whoop.
This isn't the place.
So where... Oh. Oh yeah? What? Oh, it's anchoring something down. What the?
Time to go up and report.
Ooh. Boing. I got something, you lads. I
As
got to
expected,
lead.
we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this.
Uh-huh. You got great drawing skills, Lynette.
With this anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location. We also came across
pretty
the wreckage
well
of a
thought
small
out.
boat. It must have been left out on the water and capsized due to the force of the wind and waves. Its small size, however, would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row a small boat out to the agreed-upon transfer point, drop off the barrels, leave, and then row back and retrieve them after the transfer was complete.
Why use such a convoluted drop-off method, though? Wouldn't it be easier for both parties to meet up and transfer at the transfer point on their respective vessels and exchange the goods right there and there?
It could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face-to-face. As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
Oh.
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Well, if that's the case,
I bet it
they
took a
must
bit
not
of
have a very
engineering.
close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The most important thing is that we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating barrel drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth. That would mean there has to be at least one other person involved in the operation, likely in charge of transporting the goods across the border.
That explains why we couldn't find evidence linking him to any overseas operations. He handed it to someone else.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport, and docked along the shore rather than at a large port. If that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind.
Have you looked into those ports already?
Absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border.
A small boat and a few barrels isn't going to get you very far.
You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make a profit. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections.
Well, even if we can't find any travel logs, we can still search for other clues.
Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, Why don't you head to Lumiduce Harbor and see what you can find out?
Hey. Alright.
All right.
Sure.
Come on, Bonnie. You too.
Meow. Go to Lumiduce Harbor. I really like the OST for the harbor, by the way. Off topic, but it's a good OST. Especially the nighttime one. Like the one playing right now. Oh, that's not Sadine. That's another Melusine.
Oh, Lynette, traveler. And Bonnie too. What brings you all here?
Gotta sleep, see y'all later. Alright. Thanks for joining the stream today, Ark. See ya.
Did something happen?
We're here to check the travel logs. Shohei. You update them on the situation.
Oh. I see. Thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine.
What are you doing here?
I'm in charge of guarding the port. You mentioned you were after some travel logs, right? I can go fetch those for you.
Looks like I've got another hard day of work ahead of me.
Are things usually pretty hectic around here?
No, not usually. It's this incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff.
I love the default explain animation for them.
But things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard poodles were able to sniff it out. Even worse, we still don't know how the perpetrator was able to conceal the goods so well.
By suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth?
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections. Or at least, we're supposed to.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly. If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Right.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travel logs for all the recent activity at the port.
Gerard. Hey.
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Gerard.
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me.
Woof woof? Meow?
Huh. I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so strongly.
The smell. Could be because we just left the place where imitation synth was made. Whatever Gerard smelled on you probably came from us.
Huh? We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us. If it leaves a residue so easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise the goods at all.
Why don't you have a look at the travel logs first? All ships coming in and out of the port are recorded here, except for the ones the port authorities ride to and from work.
You flip through the numerous travelogues, you notice several instances with human societies listed. The name really seems to stand out. Oh.
The Humane Society.
So that's why the other guy was looking for the cat. Huh. We've encountered that organization before, right?
Their name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
Ah, the director of the organization explained that actually.
Oh boy.
He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So his organization offers an overseas adoption program.
Please don't tell me that that's just the front and you're instead shipping drugs across Teyvat.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society,
Because you were looking kind
was the
of
man who came
off.
looking for Bonnie earlier.
earlier. Meow. Aw. The cat that fled from Pierre looks like the cat that the Humane Society is looking for. Could that really be a coincidence? It seemed as if Bernard was also hiding something. He seemed so insistent, but only ran a cursory check before just leaving like that. When he came looking for Bonnie earlier, what if he wasn't actually there to check if Bonnie was his missing cat? What if he was there for some other purpose?
Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
What do you mean, stomach?
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant.
How do they extract the bags? So that they won't be digested.
There were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water.
So the animals will be able to breathe.
Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals.
So that they would keep still in the floating barrels. But how do they extract the packages in their stomach?
Pierre must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the scent of imitation synth.
It's not what I think it is, right?
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for
Oh
anything
god,
suspicious.
how the fuck do they get the bags
Trying to
out?
feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Please don't tell me it's what I think it is. Oh.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss.
Do you think Bonnie could have imitation synth in her stomach?
She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never
Yeah,
left
I
without
think.
her.
Oh yeah, please go,
I'm
please
guessing
go.
he didn't know whether Pierre
It's
had
alright.
already hidden
Don't
the
worry.
next batch of imitation synth before he fled.
Go ahead and busy with your thing. No worries.
Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open, roaming the streets of Fontaine. If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
Please don't tell me they're dissecting them open.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a
That
closer
would
look at
be
the cat.
so disturbing. Pierre must have fled in a hurry. The fact that that fact is probably what spared Bonnie.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, but those, what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place? If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them.
And if any imitation synth leaked out, they would also have needed a lot of cleaning agents to get rid of the resulting smell.
That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So, it was better left to the more experienced Pierre. We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth, so I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
Okay, Then, let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice.
I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned.
Sorry, but I can't go with you. Surely you'll be able to handle him, what, between Elodie's Gardamek and all three of you?
Oh. People are so fucked up, bro. They're pets. They're animals, dude. How the hell? Really? Seriously? That's what you thought of? To use them as...
The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
You're the people from earlier. Wait, you're from the guards?
Hey, sir. Jail time, by the way.
We can't let him get away.
You know, good thing that Lynette has this skill. Bernard, easy.
Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy. Have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know.
Tell me what the hell you're doing to those animals.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed in its name.
Look, I didn't have a choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all. While those animals were showered with love, I lived worse than a dog.
No one asked. Tell me, how did you first get to know Pierre?
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport some animals abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I was really transporting.
You stuck with it, though.
But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea.
Lynette was rather spot on with the...
And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals
barrel
sleeping
thing.
in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad. That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. Oh, and he even supplied all of the goods, too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else.
So where is he now?
Look, I don't know, okay? I've never, ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
So where's that letter now?
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them. I wasn't even allowed to share them with the rest of the society employees.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
You're still guilty.
Well,
Just saying.
we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House.
Hope you like jail time.
I'd be coming for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the testimony you just gave.
I know, I swear I was just telling the truth.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you, I really don't know what would have happened to this case.
Bonnie helped, too.
Meow. That's true. It was all thanks to her that Bernard was finally exposed.
Good job, Bonnie. Bonnie suddenly runs and hides behind you and Lynette.
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well. Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
Lynette's expression seems a bit unnatural. It seems that Lynette still has something on her mind.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
They're about to leave. Is it really to let... Okay, to let them go? Contemplation. 20. Fuck. We can leave Bernard's interrogation to the guards.
Is everything really over? I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears. Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse.
Oh, wow. That's the first heart we lost.
No good. I've still got nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy.
Oh, that was 3 dialogues, and we're down to 1 heart. Don't force yourself.
Alright. I'll stop thinking about it, for now. At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did. And that's what I hope.
Meow.
Let's go to the Humane Society and see if there are any animals left that might still need our help before my energy for today completely runs out.
Oh, Garfield. Save the kitty. The truth remains submerged in the dark undercurrents, yet hope already lies beyond the cage. Save. Was that the other ending really based off of the card roll there? Wow. We need to score a 20. You're pissing me.
Settle down.
You are pissing me.
Now behave.
Ow! That hurt.
Oh, so close. Fuck. Maybe we gotta talk to Lynette first, and that way we can boost the chance a little, because Lynette is there. Something on your mind still?
It was that obvious, huh? Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not quite right. We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things
How many
again
modes
from
do you
the top
have?
to see if we can find anything new. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider?
About what we found in Poisson.
The Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation.
Oh, why is Pierre a suspect? The pattern on the pendant is proof that its owner is an illegitimate child of the Lefebvre family, but this shouldn't be all. Bonnie has been with Pierre ever since the first meeting between Pierre and the Marechaussee Phantom, and that's why LOD came looking for her, but that shouldn't be all. The end of Lefebvre. The Lefebvre family is infamous in Fontaine, and even their instant scions became targets of revenge, but Pierre just carried the pendant with him as if it's an ordinary piece of jewelry. The pet handoff. Okay. Associates. Initial suspicions. Pierre became the key suspect in the case because of a suspicious cat and a suspicious pendant. Submit.
Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow when he took so much care to not leave any traces of imitation synth in his home?
About Bernard's letters.
Bernard claims to have received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre stated that he had gone into hiding. Is there something wrong with the letter?
The letter's delivery method. Regardless of whether he sent it anonymously or to secretly deliver it himself, it's no longer something we can follow up on. Escape location. The letter didn't mention Pierre's hiding spot, although it makes sense that Pierre would... Okay. Lost cat Bonnie. Bonnie had already been on the loose for a few days, and we found her yesterday morning. This means we have already broken free when the letter was written. The letter's purpose. If the point of the letter was to tell Bernard to get on his guard, then why didn't he also warn him about Bonnie?
If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But if she wasn't carrying anything, then it would have made sense to tell Bernard not to worry. And thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie. Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a separate goal entirely?
There's an unexplained part in the operations of the trafficking ring.
Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods. Is there something else in this scheme that we're missing?
Communication. They always communicated in the writing, and all of these letters have been burned, so we can no longer confirm the trace or anything. Handoff. We've already proven that Bernard and Pierre coordinated handoffs by passing floating barrels to each other on the paper stretches of water. Connections. Any past member in the Lefevre family will probably have a number of connections outside of Fontaine. Ingredients. According to Chef Rust's ingredients are formerly remained. Oh, okay. Ledger. Bernard can be compensated by his work after completing a shipment. No suspicious record will be left along as. Okay.
There's no need to rush. Let's see if we can find any other suspicious points about this case.
No? Attempt to close the case.
Perhaps.
Huh. Come on. I should have
Now
some
behave.
bonuses.
That hurt.
Bonuses. Oh. I need 10 more. 10. Yes! 22! Fuck yeah. Let's go. No, we can't let her get away. Get her. Hold it right there.
Is there something else you need from me, traveler?
Bernard and Pierre, they weren't really acting alone, were they?
Huh?
I see. It all makes sense now.
What?
Hey, what are you talking about? Look, even our confessed criminal here has no idea what you're saying.
You? Elodie? Of course. You were in charge of checking the boats, weren't you? You could have totally passed it off. As it being not suspicious.
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre.
No way. Oh, god damn it. So they were both there for like... Bernard thought he was communicating with Pierre, and Pierre thought he was taking orders from Bernard, but they never met up face to face. But for all this time, neither of them knew that there was a third person all along. They were both being exploited. Guards member.
That never quite added up for me. Why did Pierre feel compelled to return to his home with Bonnie and the pendant, and make them so easy to find for the Marechaussee Phantom?
Any animals, because they aren't the main players in the thing at all. They can just take the fall for someone else if she felt like it. Any animals Pierre received from the floating barrels should have been taken directly to his base, and considering his precautious situation, the pendant should have been the last thing Pierre would leave lying around.
Both of these things are in stark contrast to his usual meticulous and vigilant behavior. There's only one reasonable explanation. He was following orders, just like Bernard. He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Bring the cat and the pendant, and our undercover agent will be sure to help you. Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that letter to him had long decided to sacrifice him and Bernard to save themselves.
They instructed the two men to communicate through letters and barrels specifically so that they never get to meet each other. Honestly, this third person probably planned to sell both of them out from the very beginning.
What? You can't be serious. There was a third person involved?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple. Bernard did the trafficking, Pierre the imitation synth production, drugging, and stuffing.
With everything accounted for, the third person would then be cleared of all suspicion.
Wait. But that doesn't make any sense. If that's the actual truth, then as soon as Pierre is caught, he'll explain his side of the story and the third person will...
Yep, which is why the third person made sure that Pierre would never be found again.
Oh my god. His hiding letter wasn't written by himself at all. Was that man already 6 feet under? Oh.
Once they had instructed Pierre to expose himself, the third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of, and he should take Bonnie and safely return to his base.
Then they ambushed Pierre and made him disappear into the dirt, into the earth.
Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. Knowing that Bonnie had last been seen with him, all the third person would have to do from that point on would be to lead the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess the truth.
Bernard would then testify that Pierre was the one who came up with the whole plot, and Pierre would have been seen as hiding in anticipation of getting caught.
Wait, so you're saying that the letter I received yesterday,
Yeah.
the one that made me think Pierre was still alive, it was also sent by the third person?
Is that what happened? I'll get back to headquarters right away and reinvestigate this case from the top.
Not so fast. Why not we call Chevreuse over, you know? Stay right there, Elodie. Not so fast.
Chevreuse said that assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. Someone among us, however, has been feeding us all kinds of preconceived notions ever since our first meeting. They suggested that Pierre's disappearance was an attempt to escape the judgment of the law, and that Pierre was a scion of the Lefebvre family. But if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for a murder, then couldn't the true scion have been an illegitimate daughter, rather than an illegitimate son?
Miss Elodie Lefebvre.
Huh?
Wow.
Haven't you taken this joke a bit too far? You're right. I did
Holy
let a lot
shit.
of assumptions get to my head when I first started to talk to you about the
We
case.
almost got played.
I'll make sure to correct my behavior.
You deliberately fed us lies, but even you could not control every last detail of your plan. There was a flaw in your scheme, and something didn't quite go as planned. Getting the Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part of your plan. Had they failed to take notice of the Humane Society, they could have cast a wider net, and you couldn't predict what they might possibly find if given enough time. This, of course, was the main weakness of your plan.
And once the Special Patrol and Lenny got involved, it became even harder to control the outcome of the investigation.
As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. So, you thought about pulling a few more strings, so all of the suspicion would point towards Bernard and his society.
A great option, of course, would be to dispose of Bonnie and leave her body at Pierre's base in anticipation of a later discovery.
Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's base. If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the imitation synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine.
However, something unexpected happened at the base. Bonnie managed to escape in the chaos.
It was probably during your ambush of Pierre. You didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of imitation synth.
You poor thing. Why are you wrapped up in all of this, you poor little fella?
Still, you soon found another
I really thought
opportunity.
she was a good person.
Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city, and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of imitation synth.
But you can't make yourself known to who you are. You can't let them know you're the third person.
While
So
investigating
that was
the
pretty
suspect's
complicated.
cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling imitation synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society.
You're sick, you know that? But Bonnie was very lucky. But you were extremely unlucky.
Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of imitation synth. That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect.
You knew Lenny was investigating the case with Chevres, and you also knew that Lynette's previous encounter with the Lefevre family. That's so dirty.
You used the Lefevre name as bait to get us to join your
That's
investigation.
so dirty.
With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange
Wow.
event of Bernard somehow having a reason to look for Pierre's cat.
Really, you exploited that trauma of hers. Fuck you, Elodie.
So, what you're saying is, I went to all that trouble just for the chance that you might put forth the suggestion that would lead you down the wrong path.
Of course, you did far more than that. Just now at Lumidu's Harbor, were you not the person who highlighted the suspicious activities of the society?
By showing us the port's travel logs. Oh yeah, remember?
You even highlighted the society's activities during your compilation of the logs, so they'd be immediately visible to anyone
Redirecting our
examining the
attention,
records.
our focus, eh?
Moreover, the
Woman.
logs contained no records of the Port Authority's activities. In other words, your activities.
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for imitation synth from the harbor to a boat, and then sail over to the meeting place full of floating barrels.
Once Bernard had placed animals in the barrels, you'd open the lids and also dump in the raw materials. As long as you did it before Pierre came for his pickup, there'd be no one the wiser.
And that's how neither the trafficker nor the manufacturer knew there was a third person who supplied the raw materials, and surreptitiously operated between them.
First, you got in touch with both parties and secured the raw materials. Then you instructed Bernard to prepare the floating barrels and the animals. After that, you slipped the raw materials into the barrels next to the animals and requested that Pierre pick it up at the base and bring them back to his base.
Pierre manufactured imitation synth using the raw materials you provided, stuffed the animals, and placed the animals back into the barrels. Having received the green light from you as Pierre, Bernard then retrieved his animals and shipped them out of Fontaine once he had received enough for a full batch. This is the truth behind your smuggling
I
ring.
don't know how they're extracting it. I don't
can't
want to
believe
at this
it.
point.
I never put 2 and 2 together.
You've sure got an extremely lively imagination.
So what do you think she's going to say next?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels? But do you have any evidence?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels,
Aha.
huh?
It appears that it's quite easy to predict what you'll think or say. Then if we apply that to this case, we can also think of a few places to look for incriminating evidence. You know very well that this case will not end until Pierre is found, so you will have him commit suicide out of fear and shame to end the investigation for good. That way, you can also pin the blame for the overseas smuggling activities, the theft of the harbor's confiscated raw materials, and even the Lefevre name on him.
Have they ever used,
After all,
like...
dead men tell no tales.
Have they ever actually said commit suicide up until now?
But you still want it to appear as if he had sent that last letter to Bernard, so you have to make sure he cannot be found until after Bernard has confessed to the authorities. To do that, you either will hide his body until you've found an appropriate time to set up a fake suicide scene, or you'll dump it someplace where it'll be hard to determine the exact time of death. Submerged in water, for instance. The location would ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time while also letting you keep an eye on it.
An example of such a place may be somewhere in your own boat or under beneath the waters near Lumidu's harbor. You could also keep him in a very cool environment to be handled later, or set a fire to make it look like he had burned himself to crisp.
There are only so many options to hide a person's time of death, after all. As long as the Phantom investigates each of the possibilities in turn, they'll surely find Pierre's remains. Especially since, as the prime suspect who will now be taken into custody, you will no longer have the time to move him, or set up a fake suicide scene to cover up the murder.
How absurd. And on what grounds will you order my arrest? Don't think for a second that your spouts of nonsense will amount to any kind of real argument.
Yeah?
After all, I'm...
Elodie Lefebvre!
Oh, thank you for finishing that, by the way. Good timing, people.
As the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, I hereby declare you as a suspect in the case. If you have any objections, you may raise them later during interrogation.
Chefress, Lenny, you're here too.
That's right. We received a message from Lumidu's harbor that you were going to investigate the Humane Society. We didn't expect to run into you at such a critical moment.
You both figured it out.
While at the harbor, we noticed something else extremely interesting. Apparently, you often used all kinds of excuses to swap your shifts. And if one were to match the times of your shifts to the activities of the Humane Society and those of certain foreign ships,
very easy to pinpoint.
They'd find them to be an exact match.
That's just a coincidence.
Alright, just come quietly at this point.
I've already thought of a dozen different ways to explain away the suspicious activities, but as far as evidence goes,
just
that
go.
should be enough to warrant taking you into custody.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any evidence after all this, Lynette and I will do everything in our power to clear your name.
Wow.
Although judging by her reaction, I assume no follow-up from us will be needed.
The Lefebvres were infamous for using disguise and infiltration to achieve their goals. Who would have thought that they would have planted someone within the guards?
Judging from the timeline,
You're
they
just as
likely
bad
arranged
as
for you to enter the guards before the fall of
all
the
of
clan.
them.
But they probably didn't expect you to turn it to your advantage and use your job to save yourself during the purge.
Not only that, but you actively participated in the interrogation, arrest, and judgment of the Lefebvres during their fall, thus clearing yourself of suspicion.
You are so devious, woman.
You brutally and cruelly abandoned your allies as soon as they outlived their usefulness, just like a lizard cutting off its own tail in order to live. You've been doing this for years.
So you played me like a fool after all?
Bernard is suddenly knocked out by a sudden strike. Whoa.
What was that word you used? Ally? You think that someone as foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally? They were worthless scum. All of them. Not just Bernard and Pierre, but those Lefebvres too. They always just saw me as a tool. I lost all my chances of a normal life just because I was born into their lot. Not only that, but because they wanted me to become an undercover agent, they stripped me of my name, too. I had to live in constant fear of them while they were alive. And even once they were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know anything about what I've been through over all these years? My life as the last Lefebvre?
Hey, Dogbirds. Elodie's expression seems a bit unnatural. There's a hint of drama in the voice of the suddenly agitated Elodie. It feels like her anger may be part of some kind of bluff.
I don't, and neither do I care.
And no one asked about your past.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefebvre victim too?
And, you know, you're here. Drugs, by the way, ma'am?
Elodie, you're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest. If you have more to say, save it for the interrogation room.
What a joke. What a joke! Hey!
What the What the fuck is that? What is that? Was that jangly looking scrap of button?
Don't come any closer.
What's that?
This device seems a bit odd. Yeah, no shit. The small device that Elodie took out appears very crude. It's made from paper mache.
Know what this is?
Oh. Oh.
I've secretly planted loads of explosives in the Humane Society. Just one step closer and...
Hey, smack that shit out of her hands.
Whether they're cats, dogs, or just unlucky human employees.
Jeez, do you see how she looks like right
They'll
now?
all be blown up into smithereens.
Well,
Surely, you bunch of goody two-shoes won't let that happen, right?
that is so convincing, ma'am. Take an acting career. Deception, holy shit. Oh shit. Okay, let's see. Should we assist Lenny in deceiving Elodie? Launch a sneak attack on Elodie while she's distracted. Persuasion. Intimidation helps Shepherds to intimidate Elodie. She deserves to be intimidated. This fucking woman. Right. Oh my god, if I fail this, I need a... Oh, we were just on it. Oh shit. That would have been so bad to fail at intimidation. That would have been humiliating.
If you were to run away now, the entire Special Patrol would be out hunting for you day and night, to the ends of the world.
All of Fontaine would know that a spawn of Lefebvre still lives among them.
Once word of that gets out, all the factions in
You
Fontaine
sure you want to
will be
live like
after you.
that?
But if you throw away the device now, I'll still count that as turning yourself into the guards. Would you rather go back with me now and wait for a trial? Or wait for your enemies to find you and subject you to the same interrogation techniques that your relatives were once infamous for?
Brutal, huh?
No, I can't.
There you go. As Elodie's resolve begins to waver, she gets knocked out. Hey. You're okay now, little buddy?
Phew.
Jesus.
So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself.
And what about the device she had? It's fake. It's a bluff.
Looks like it's just a toy.
So she really was just bluffing.
Guess that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the society.
She also pretended like she had a villainous breakdown, as if she had no choice but to kill and to escape her life.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my doubts that she'd have gone to the society in person to plant explosives.
Thank you for your help, everyone. I'll take them back for thorough questioning and find someone better to take over the Humane Society. I might need a few statements from everybody. Would you be able to come with me?
Sure.
If statements are all you need, can Lenny provide them on my behalf?
You've had enough too.
I still need to go back and explain some things to the crew. I also had an appointment with the Traveler before we got interrupted.
Tea party. Contemplation. What does she say again? You mean, contemplation? Have tea, right? Are you
A lot has happened since then. I'm referring to when I invited you over for some tea and also to spend some time with Bonnie.
Should I have just clicked the first option? My bad.
Once
I'm
I'm done
sorry.
talking with the troop, I'll take Bonnie home and make a nice cup of tea. You'll be able to find us outside of my door.
Can you blame the Traveler? We've kind of been through like a whole goddamn detective arc since then. We're charged with Lynette. Haha, look at you fools.
You can leave the rest of this to me. The other guards will be joining me shortly. Don't worry.
Look
they
at
won't
these
have another
clowns.
chance to escape.
Oh my god. There's still a few things I'm curious about.
The materials have many other regular uses outside of being used to make imitation synth, so they're not immediately subject to being confiscated or destroyed. The harbor would usually just seize them for some time while the customs paperwork is filled out and approved. If approved, they'd be let through, and if not, they'd be returned to sender. Elodie probably used her position to replace a portion of the shipment with something else, before sending the whole shipment back to sender. Given that the foreign merchants who sent in the shipments were probably working with her in the first place, they likely just never reported the difference in what they sent and what they received. We will, of course, continue to investigate the rest of the details of this case. Now that we've caught Elodie, figuring out the whole scheme should just be a matter of time.
What the hell?
You must have spent a record-breaking amount of time in serious mode today. I can't remember the last time I've seen you like this. Is it because of a special someone?
There's still a few things I'm curious about.
Based on information that we found before, imitation synth was first circulated on a small scale in Fontaine before becoming a large-scale smuggling scheme. I'd assume that the first offerings of imitation synth came from what Pierre made in his early days. But since he was not experienced with running a clandestine operation, he was soon discovered by guard Elodie. Elodie saw the opportunity to make a great profit in his work, and perhaps even the chance of making a new life for herself.
Wow.
So she decided to cover his tracks. She started writing
Drug
to him
money,
in Bernard's
huh?
name, using what evidence she had compiled and the promise of enormous profits to blackmail him into cooperating with her. Unfortunately for her, she ran into Lynette. Even though my sister doesn't like to focus too much on a regular day, serious mode Lynette is one of the most perceptive people I've ever known.
Oh yeah.
Still, all of that thinking really saps her energy. I need to go give some statements on her behalf, so I'll leave the recharging to you.
Okay. Bro. Alright, hold on. We gotta run our next ad, by the way. Now. But holy... Oh my... We missed so much by not checking again.
I see the value in my own work,
in the other
but I
ending.
also see the meaning
You
in
can
all
even
the
say the other
endeavors of the
ending
people of
for this
Fontaine.
route is the bad
I
ending.
believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling
This
my
is...
duties.
What the fuck? Really? It's the guard. My god. Okay. Well. What the... I could have never saw that coming. Why does it click back to... Hold on. I do this, and then I do this. Oh, that's weird. That is just... It's his plot twist after plot twist. What the fuck? That's okay. It's cool. It's cool. Alright, we got 1.5 minutes of thing going. Ad, so give it a bit. Alright, 30 seconds more, folks. And I think this should be the last ad. Because apparently the other ending is really short. So... God damn. Ooh. Alright, and here we go. Ad is over. And let's get that ending. Our much deserved ending. Bunny!
Black tea and a cute kitty. Truly the best combo for standby mode. Want some?
A cute kitty, please. Yay, kitty!
I see she's already starting to snuggle up to you.
About Elodie's case, are you not interested in any follow-up developments from it?
Not at all. Information is indeed very important, but if you were to try to collect every piece of information you come across, your efficiency would actually decrease. Plus, if you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or enjoying a tea party?
The cute kitty.
Great answer. That'd be my pick too. Had we not run into that case, we could have spent the entire day like this. But now, I'm running low on both time and energy.
The key isn't how long you'd spend in standby mode. With quality time, you should be able to recharge more quickly.
You're right. I can sense it. I'm recharging very quickly at the moment.
I still have a question though. When did you start to suspect Elodie?
Something about her rubbed me the wrong way since the very beginning. But to be more precise, it was probably around the time when I saw Bonnie try to get away from her.
After you arrested Bernard? Back then, Elodie tried to get close to Bonnie.
Meow. Elodie tried to get close, but Bonnie deliberately dodged her. Maybe Bonnie had tried to evade her before at Pierre's base. Or perhaps Bonnie just instinctively knew that she wasn't a good person. Not everyone who likes cats is a good person. But if cats like you, you're probably alright.
Fair enough.
Humans tend to overthink things, but cats rely on their instincts, and they're pretty sharp. I mean, just look at Bonnie. She took a liking to you the moment you met. Ow.
And there it is. Adventures, investigators, and cats. Your story has come to an end. For now. For now. What a complex storyline for this one. What the hell? Holy shit. I didn't expect it to spin into another plot twist in and of itself here. What a cool plot line. I can't decide between which one now. Hold on. Okay, let's just get the last ending. Let's just get the last ending. It's like really fast, apparently. I know. What is it I'm supposed to do differently?
Like
How about you do neither?
Huh?
If it was that urgent, someone would have come looking by now. That applies to both your troop and the Bonnie's owner. But both of those are pretty much very crucial events that you probably shouldn't ignore. But yeah, in this timeline, I guess we are just... We feigned ignorance. We're ignorant.
What you're saying is, since nobody's come looking...
Yeah, just play with the cat.
Can just
and
keep
let's
hanging
just
out with Bonnie for a bit longer?
pretend we don't know about the drug inside its belly.
Is that really okay?
Yeah. Meow. Persuasion. We got a puzzle 10. Easy. Oh my...
Besides, if someone does come
Fuck.
looking for me or Bonnie and finds me just chilling out with a cat, I feel like I'd have a lot of explaining to do.
Okay, hold on.
Alright.
Let's just, I don't know, pick one. Blah, 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 blah. Blah.
So, we're looking for There's 20 cards in total.
We're just gonna have to persuade her to do basically nothing. Oh boy.
I didn't like that.
Come on, do nothing.
Huh? What
Do nothing.
Is that really?
Do nothing. Do nothing. We're gonna pull a 10. Let's go. Hey, a 20. Gah!
You make a good point.
You can just stick around here for a while, so if anyone does come looking for you, they'll find you.
Okay, well, assuming Bonnie hasn't strayed too far from where she went missing.
I do think this would
we
still.
might bump into her owner in either the Steambird offices or the restaurant.
Owners. More like.
Stick around here in standby mode? Yeah, that suits me.
If you're going to standby mode, shall we find some cat food?
Oh, good idea. Bonnie's definitely hungry.
If we're getting some cat food, shall we get some snacks for us too?
May as well. We could be here a while.
Well, since we got some cat food and snacks, let's find a place to chill.
When I was trying to find somewhere I could space out earlier, collect my thoughts, I figured the cafe might be a good shot. Alright then. Plan of action, spend the whole day spacing out. In standby mode.
That is a quick ending. Speedrun. Yeah. Standby mode. Doing nothing is the happiest thing. For some people, yeah.